Hey Swift, Miss Joe, thank you for the host as well. Henry, how's it going?
I was new.
Can you guys hear me all right though?
Yeah,
Wait, how long do we have until
What's
shit's actually
going on?
I mean, give me one sec. Oh no, it's the other guys that can't hear me. Give me a sec. It's because of Discord perms. Let me fix that. Warlock, how's it going, man? Good to see you. First loaf bread of the day, Joe. You're relentless. I love it. Did I even? All right, that should have fixed it.
Wait, what's the frame rate on your camera, Matt?
Oh no.
When you dance around, like you like blur about.
Yeah, probably like 30 FPS.
Probably.
Hence why I need a new one. It's a bit like I've got this thing going on.
Wait, what is that?
Oh, Hayes with the
know.
raid as well. What's
It's
going on?
something to do with
Welcome
the
everyone. GURPS, good to see you, man. All right, let's switch this over.
Fucking
Start this shit.
I'm meant to be iron right now.
No, you're not meant to. I'm just chatting shit
Cool.
about you. Do you know what? I need to figure this out, right? Because I use like a Logitech camera software, and that goes to Discord when I'm streaming, just so that I can have the camera on Streamlabs as well. There's a weird delay, and it looks like I'm lip syncing in Discord, and it's great. Love it.
Yeah.
How do we mute this music? Oh yeah, you press the mute button, obviously.
Yeah, Amazon's definitely trying to rip me off. Same webcam. They're saying £160. It's like, no, I can get it for 50.
I'd get a second-hand DSLR, honestly, if I were you.
Yeah, that's going to be my next move at this point. Maybe. I don't know. With the green screen, though, it's kind of no point. I'm kind of debating it. I need to sort something out about glasses reflection. That's one thing I'm struggling with mostly. I'm constantly having to play like this so that you don't see this.
Have you tried contacts before? Do they work for you? Because I know they don't work for some people.
I don't mind them. It's just because long sessions and stuff, I need to use more drops. It just like drives my. I don't like the reusable ones. The disposable ones are good. Just waiting on if Hayes is jumping in. Oh,
he will be.
There's the man. Yeah, he's just jumped into my chat, so I'm guessing he's just wrapping up his stream and stuff. He'll be in. How are we all doing though? All happy, healthy, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Fantastic, mate.
Good to see. Is that the NVIDIA software that you got the background blur going on there? It's fancy. I like it.
Oh, wait, what the hell?
Yep.
I can't see Walker's camera in Discord. I just didn't think he was transmitting yet, but then I looked at your stream and he is.
Maybe leave and rejoin, or
no? I just clicked on his. I clicked on his camera icon and now I can see it. I don't know.
I need to do the label. I mean, if the weird thing is, right, labels pop up. Let me just. I'll do my own name tags. It's fine. This is as scuffed as it's going to be ever. I love it. Honestly.
You got the right crowd for it then.
Yeah. There's Timo's tag.
Iron, you know that you can turn on Discord name tags, right?
I can.
Yeah, because I've got them up literally in front of me, like I've got a name tag in the bottom corner of
Well,
each picture.
that's when I hover over it and if I keep my mouse there, or are they always on for you?
Oh,
No, they go away,
my
they
mouth
go
was
away.
sitting over the call. That's why.
Yeah.
There must be a way to get.
Yeah, I'm thinking at some point we'll switch over to like an actual like Zoom or Skype or something. People keep recommended some shit.
Yeah, I made Matt download Zoom for this.
You did.
Imagine being professional. Uh, while I'm just sorting out these tags, I mean, Matt, just want to a quick intro about yourself, if you don't mind, for my chat
Okay.
purposes.
All right, well, in that case, then, I am Matt. I am 25 years old. I play Tarkov and some other things. I'm not very good at Tarkov, but I try. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I've been streaming for since the start of the whole COVID thing properly. I try and stream every day. That's about it, really.
Nice. And then you also do an awesome Iron Fist cosplay, I've heard.
Oh, yeah. It's on standby if you really want it.
Duo Battle semi-finalist, obviously the reason why you're here, the only reason why you get invited here. There's no other reason I'd have you on here, so that's another thing as well.
True.
Carrier of Walker. Tell the people. Tell them.
Hi, my name's Walker. I got carried by Matt in the duo battles. I stream pretty much every single day now since COVID. And that's about it, yeah.
Nice.
Bog standard.
Tarkov emissary. Helper of
Everyone always
younglings.
Yeah.
And everyone knows
And that,
Timo
and
with the Corf merch, with the red beard. What else you got going on? Any new merch dropping, Timo?
Did you see my tweet?
Yeah, that was like a sneak peek.
It's a little teaser for what's coming out soon. Yeah. Well, I'm launching 2 new pieces. In the short future. They're being delayed at the moment because obviously I'm moving house in the next week or 2. And so all of my money is kind of being funneled into like buying furniture and white goods and all of that sort of thing. Because we're moving from furnished to unfurnished.
Okay.
So essentially we're getting the house move out of the way, and then I'm like reanalyzing my finances, and then we'll hopefully be launching 2 new products, which is gonna be sick.
Nice. Awesome. Exciting stuff.
Gonna be branching out soon as well. I mean, it's all still hush hush, but Corf merch won't just be selling my merch soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, it's been a dream of mine for a while to actually turn Corf merch into a platform for all content creators and Twitch streamers to be able to sell their merch without being completely ripped off by like Teespring and Designed by Humans and stuff who take like 80% of the profit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're getting there. There's a lot of work involved in actually getting it ready and like suitable, but we're getting there.
For sure. So it would be a platform for selling, or would you deal with manufacturing as well? How does that, or is it still?
Yeah, so Corf merch will do all of the manufacturing processes and everything. So essentially, the streamer or the content creator can come to Corf merch. They can provide designs, or they can ask for designs to be made. And then Corf merch will sort out the manufacturing of it all and everything, and then we'll also sort out fulfillment, getting everything posted and everything, and then about 70% of the profits left over just go straight to the streamer or the content creator.
Exciting stuff. I like it.
Is the plan. Yeah,
it's nice to see progress, honestly.
Yeah.
It's only been, how long have you been like affiliate for about 6 months now?
7 months actually, a couple of days ago. 7 months, yeah.
Awesome. And good timing on the hat placement there, Walker. I like it.
It's not a snapback though.
It's not a snapback. Is it a trucker? What we working with there?
All right. Well, that's what it said it were on the website. So.
Okay.
I mean, it looks a bit more like a baseball cap though.
I do like the Lab Sucks mug. I might have to invest soon.
If you want to see a physical copy of that, I can show you. I have both. I have the one.
Oh, is that behind you there? That's awesome.
Yep, 2 out of 3. I reckon you should put it in your fish tank though.
In the fish tank?
Yeah.
Hey, I've got refugee fish in there right now. They're
oh God, don't start.
All right.
They are. I rescued them. The pet shop went bust. They were getting rid of them. So I've saved them.
I thought you were going to say you rescued them from a fishmonger or something, but...
No.
He's alive, honestly. He's just missing the tail. You know?
They were all infected, and they're currently undergoing quarantine.
Okay.
So...
fatten them up. That's what I'm saying. You never know when you might need a sushi. I don't know. yeah, like obviously, it's nice that for you to join us as well, Spiral and Walker.
Mm.
Duo battles I wanted to talk about. Obviously, congratulations, Timo and Hayes. It was inevitable.
It
No,
was
no,
close.
it was. Oh
It
man,
was so close.
it was ridiculous. Like, I'm like, all right. Here's my. I'm gonna speak my mind here. Coming from a place of second place, I was apprehensive about bringing you on so early, Walker and Spiral, but I knew you guys would be able to talk openly about your experiences without too much grievance, you know. And I hope that is a thing. We can talk in hindsight, do like a breakdown. We're not gonna go raid by raid, but just overall, kind of your thoughts and feelings on how it all went. Your plans going into it, because obviously I did watch you guys training and things like that, and your test runs and customs. Obviously, I don't know what it was. It was just whether the everything. That's fine. We'll fix that. It's all good. Hayes is here. Customs was your stomping ground, and every time you guys went onto customs, I was like, all right, here's what it's gonna, you know, it's gonna happen. Those training sessions that I've been watching with the 10 PMCs and Rashala and 2 items and, you know, a 90 point raid, it's gonna come, but it never came to like fruition. But yeah, just your just looking back on what you could have done differently, or you know, was it the item RNG on the day? What actually, how was your thoughts on it?
So like you said, we kind of threw all of our eggs into the customs basket. The first round, like not the semifinals, but the first round, we struggled. We had like a bunch of raids where we bombed out with 0 points.
Right.
So this time around, we obviously tried to fix that, and we did. But we only needed one raid, like on customs, that was like you said, you know, and 90 points, just the 7 PMCs.
Yeah.
We came close to hitting. I'm trying to get the score sheet thing that you sent me.
Well, it was that last reserve raid. I think it was just timing. Honestly, like this is the thing. Like anybody who's ever spoken to me about the battles, or you know, who I've battle modded, I always drum home the you know, spending too much time in stash tags and get out. Although it's a bit of a meme at this point, and you know, they've even Evasion with their emotes now have adapted it because everyone bangs on about it. I think if you had another 5 minutes, or even just 10 minutes, you could have had even the 2 PMZs and the extract or scavs. Like I said, it was all very like, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but it's one of them things.
The thing is, on the last raid, we ran out of time. I was fighting 2 PMCs, so I don't want to say for sure, but if I was lucky and we had like, you know,
100% 60
seconds, then you know, it was our fault. We weren't paying attention to the time. We literally, you know, we didn't get enough notice really, because we weren't asking about the times. So that was kind of, we messed ourselves up there. But I was just saying, like, we didn't have any 0 point raids. Our labs was as close as it got to literally nothing.
Well, even that one, you picked up the Adren and then got naded in black, if I recall correctly.
We got the cat as well.
So
definitely, we had no reason to go back to labs, because we both, you know, we don't like it.
No, not
our customs raids were our worst raids. I see here we had 19 points twice, 15 points, 17 points, which sucks. The only thing we probably could have done better was the customs run, and that's about it. I think everything else went well. The RNG was probably the same for everyone across the board, really. We got most items. That was about it. I don't know how the other guys got on with theirs, though.
Well, I always thought customs would be the best place for the PvP in terms of the max kills, but believe it or not, Woods was everybody's, apart from obviously interchange with Timo and Hayes' 7. Both of you got 4 kills each on your Woods raid, and prior, I think the week before, 2 teams got 6 on Woods as well. So it's really interesting to see that people, I think it's because it's so constant. You go to Lumberyard, everybody's just going to be funneling into that area, and it's just like, if you're making the right moves, right time, you can catch it.
For me, I think Woods has not got a lot going on. I mean, you go into Woods and you've got Scab Boss, and if you don't have Scab Boss, you've
got Timo Red Beer twice there. I'll fix it, don't worry, chat.
Got no
we'll get there.
high loot spawns.
We'll get there.
People are just running around chasing fights. and there's not that much like obstruction, really. Few trees, that's about it. So you can get to PvP from anywhere on the map fairly quickly. If it were like Shoreline, for example, it's got high loot in the middle, but then there's players that don't go to the middle. You know, you're lugging around the map for about 10 minutes trying to find someone. Our woods, we got quite lucky though. I mean, I think we were running through woods, we got nothing, and then there was 4 lads at the extract, pretty much.
Well, that as well. Matt had the shotgun and went down to a scav, and you managed to pick it up and get out there, which was good.
Typical me. I'm always going down to scavs.
I think I only really died to scavs.
Mm.
I can't remember. Well, the player on labs, everything else was just scav deaths, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. And in hindsight, had Timo and Hayes every single raid getting shot in the face in the Alton and surviving.
Basically,
That
yeah.
Alton, man. Like, though, admittedly, it saved me far less in the semi-final than it did in the first round. In the first round, I was tanking like multiple headshots per raid. Like, I'm literally like running into fights, just like dunk, 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 and then killing the guy, sort of thing. In the first round, it wasn't that lucky in the semi-final, but it still saved me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I can't see a point in not using the Elton for that. You know, for that's like survivability as well. It's just, I don't know. It just makes sense too.
It's just the audio that I really struggle with. Even through your streams, there were 1 or 2. I'm trying to think now. There was a fight. There was one fight where Timo goes down to the shoreline. Timo goes down to the foul guy, suppressed foul, and then you're trying to, because one of you going through the back, one goes to the front. He goes down, and I think it was on the back entrance.
Hayes dies first.
Yeah, I get head eyes down.
South entrance of East.
Yeah.
He gets to the doorway,
that's right.
And he shoots M62, and I hear him at the doorway, and I'm like slowly moving towards the doorway, like, and then suddenly all audio disappears.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I know, he's managed to jump up onto the desk and
you hear a jump.
It's
like, what I figured out that is that he's on the balcony. Yeah, so he went to second floor. That's why he heard no audio, and he was on the balcony. And that's why you heard the jump, because he just came out onto the, because like you know with like being outside, you hear them on the balcony, but not inside. It's fucking scuffed. So yeah, that's why you heard the jump.
I remember because Hayes did a breakdown of the VOD the day after, and we watched it, and because we heard the jump but no glass break with the shot, we just assumed that he's not jumping on the table ground floor. It was balcony, so there's no glass break when he took the shot. But yeah, it's just the audio that I struggled with.
That was smart from him though, for sure. Like to go up, like that's actually something I probably would want to do next time. Actually, instead of going into 110, jumping on the desk, that's pretty obvious, right? You go on the second floor, no one hears you, and then suddenly just like, oh, shot the head. Like it's that's super good actually. So fair play.
But I think that was probably the only time where the audio was an issue for us during the whole tourney. You know, in all other situations, because we were just being so aggressive.
Yeah, like, I don't think we even really used audio. Like, I don't know, we just got shot at and shot back and killed them. Usually, I don't know.
Yeah, we got shot at, survived, and then killed whoever shot us.
Yeah.
When you guys using Altons, you actively, I don't know if you have headphone DACs, or I know you got to go XLR now, but do you actually turn up the volume mixer on your end? How do you deal with it?
Yeah. I bumped mine up to like by 1 notch. That was it. Just so from 60 to 70 in game, just a bit. Like, because last time I did it was like I bumped it up by 2. It was a bit too loud. I was like, fuck it out. Like blast my ears out with the gunshots. That's pretty loud. But I mean, the first steps are pretty low anyway. It's just the gunshots.
Yeah, no, I bumped mine up in game just by 2 from 80 to 100. But yeah.
I also changed my sense as well from, I don't know, like just by 0.02 on both aiming and general, just because obviously it's slower. And I mean, it felt the same though, honestly. It felt the same as if I wasn't wearing an Alton. So I was like, well, yeah, sure. Makes sense.
Because of the turning speed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
I literally have on my mouse, I have DPI buttons, and I've programmed them so that like when I'm not wearing an Alton, I press one button, it drops my DPI to 500, and then as soon as I put an Alton on, I just press the other button, it jumps it up to 500. To 600. And yeah, that's me, and it's perfect.
Absolute try hard.
Hold up a minute. Why did
Love
I
it.
do this?
That
What's
is
that?
brilliant. I've never
I'm
thought
on that now.
The DPI thing?
I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Yeah.
that.
That became a
It's-
thing as soon as it changed. Do you know who does it as well recently? Trips just hit max strength, right? And he's running full ult in 24/7. And he's now just got that DPI switcher for when he's full ult in and fat in terms of the movement speed, movement penalty. But obviously with the max strength, the actual gear, there isn't a penalty. He probably weighs like 30 kilos with that kit. And even when he loots somebody, it doesn't increase. Because I think it doesn't count the gun on your sling and shit like that. And
Yeah.
so
So it doesn't does it not count it doesn't count your rig or something, right? Or like your
it used to
No,
be
max strength doesn't count the weight in your backpack and the second gun on your back.
weight in your backpack.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What? Okay.
haven't they changed that? I forget now.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought they
changed-
did. Yeah.
Trips in
Yeah,
chat.
they
you can
did make a
confirm.
change.
I think
Well,
it used
they
to
did
only
make a
be
change.
backpack, and now it's
Backpack counts,
secure
right.
container, and secondary. Well, your weapon.
So your rig doesn't
the
count
second
anymore.
weapon.
Interesting.
Okay.
No. I think last wipe
What's
it was
going on,
only a
Yus?
backpack weight.
Yeah, but that
Yeah,
DPI
yeah.
switch, it's a strange mechanic because it can be easily negated. Do you know what I mean? Although it's a good way of doing it in terms of movement penalty or turn and speed penalty, it's one that can easily be negated by just changing your mouse DPI, which is interesting.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, like 85% of people aren't going to do that or think of it.
No.
You know what I mean? And like if that wasn't an option,
Mhm.
I'd put both hands up. Like if you asked me 10 minutes ago before Timo said that, I'd say
Mhm.
part why I don't use like Altons or Gen 4 assaults or is because of that crap. Like I don't like the way that, because if you think about it, you play CSGO, you change your sense, you get used to it, and you get accustomed to it, and then you play in
Yeah.
Tarkov, and every second gear set you use is like different. And it's not like you get a viable option to sell those things now. Okay, slicks you get 240k for. An example. In Gen 4s you get nothing for.
No, it's one of those, and it's that conversation of, when you loot and play gear, it's not for making money. I'm only looting stuff if A, I can use it for a barter trade, or B, I'm going to use it myself. 9 times out of 10, you see something like a Fort Redut, which is busted and repaired. You're leaving it. Even a Gazelle that's been repaired, you're leaving it, because even like repaired Zucks as well. You just, unless you want to just take it into factory for the sake of doing a warm up or something. There's no benefit to it.
I've just been buying Gazelles off of Ragman recently, actually, because they never get taken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you always get them back in insurance. And then even if they're trashed, you just fence them for 40k.
True.
And they've still only cost you like 70k, 80k for class 5 armor.
They're
like,
120k from Ragman, isn't it? So it's like,
yeah.
it's a good choice. I'm still heavily prescribed on the no stomach meta. I love it, and people still question it. Like, they're like, oh, why aren't you running a killer? Why aren't you running this, that, and the other? I do run them occasionally, but if I had the choice, always no stomach. A pop stomach is better than a black armor. I'll keep saying it, and I keep yeah.
So I completely agree, and I subscribe to the same thought process. But recently, I've been having some thoughts. I've been having some doubts. I've been dying a lot to stomach flesh damage. And I've been noticing that people in general have started, especially with like the return of SMGs and 9mm, are coming back to using much higher flesh damage rounds.
Right.
And like the no stomach armor rule was great when you were only running into 855A1, 995 BS Igolnik, and APSX, right? But the amount of times that I've died to someone spraying me in the stomach when I'm wearing like alt-in slick, because they're running AP 6.3, which has a much higher flesh damage to AP ratio, and they can just start spraying, and it's such a laser beam straight into my stomach, and I drop dead. And my armor's perfect, but I still don't have time to react. So I've been having some thoughts about it. Like, actually, maybe do I start to want to have some stomach armor now, because of like the 9mm coming in so heavily? But I'm not sure yet.
What's your favorite armor in the game to use?
Which one's that? The Gazelle? Or are you just asking?
No, I'm asking what everyone's favorite armor is to use in the game.
AACPC.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Okay.
I think probably.
I'm using a lot of high mobility now, Gen 4s.
Karasa.
because generally, yeah, they just. Don't forget about the Karasa. If I ever see a Karasa, I always pick it up. It's coming with me every time. But I've used it today, and it's like depending on the ammo, but like with the 9mm, as it goes out of stock so fast, I don't tend to come across many people with like the good stuff now, unless they're really hoarding it. Like I buy it every reset just so I have it.
Which the 7 and 9mm.
Yeah. But
I
it's
don't get a chance to buy it. Like I go 2 minutes late and it's gone. Like I don't
I've got
understand why
timers on my phone for this now.
but why do we have to do
Yeah.
that? You know, like why if the armor is a limited stock, then why do we have a cap on it? Or you know, like for example, like the ammos that have a lot
Mhm.
that never run out, like AP 6.3, for example, we
Yeah.
can buy 180 of them.
Mhm.
So why can't they just make an infinite amount in the trader for the new ammo, but just cap us at buying 90? It's the same thing,
Yeah.
really. Like,
I
No,
think
I
it's
agree.
just an artifact from before the founding raid system, you know, like because it was a way to manage reselling during the founding raid times, right? Or the non-founding raid times. And I feel like they just haven't gotten around to like getting rid of it yet since implementing the founding raid system. I also think that on the next wipe, I think we're going to see another new iteration of the founding raid system. I don't think they're done yet with it. I think they've still got tweaking to make and stuff.
I just feel like it's such a shit mechanic anyway. I don't know. Just like fix the original issues, and then you don't even need that. The found and raid stuff. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't mind the founding raid fleet only because of flea market PvP. There's like, although again, I'm not dead again. I used to do it a lot. Literally, like if I was at work, right, I'd log into my Tarkov account and just play the markets for a few hours because I wasn't able to raid. And I'd make a few mil, buying out like a certain item and reselling it. And I always said, like, if there was a mobile app or something, I'd play it 24/7, like the stock markets. Like literally, I'd be sat there building guns, playing the markets on my phone if it was possible. But I think there was
about black key cards last
yeah,
night.
black e cards. That was the one, and I ended up just absolutely blowing my load and end up with 70 left over because I overpriced myself and I gave away one every hour, and that's the only, I couldn't do anything with them because I just cut the losses. We basically bought out the market of black key cards, bumped up the price to 500k, but then somehow there was a massive influx at 300k. So I was just like, oh well, I've lost 10 mil on black key cards. We even got a bunch of viewers. One viewer bought 50 of them. A bunch of people, Aero bought 50 of them, and we all just sat on a bunch of black key cards for at the end of the last 3 months of the wipe. It was pretty hilarious. But
all of my giveaways were like, "Hey, you get a black key card. Oh, you get a black key card. You can have a black key card too."
Yeah. Anybody who came in the chat ! Giveaway basically got a black key card. Anybody who changed their name to my name as well, that whole not a cult thing, I told anybody, change your name to my name, put up a splint for a black key card, and I'll send it to you. But yeah, it was good times. The black key card, the black market. But yeah, I enjoyed that side of the game. But there was like a subculture, or like there's definitely a portion of the community who didn't know how to make money in raids, weren't able to balance their stash economy, and the only thing they could have is a flea market PvP, and that's all gone now. And I'm not saying those people are struggling now, but a lot of people are struggling now when it comes to rubles. The guys
tell them apart.
Even the guys like we were all sat on I'll speak for myself and like the guys I used to play with. All of us were sat on 100 mil, 200 mil last wipe. Aero's like obviously flying as always because he's just insane, but Trips obviously on 100 mil because he found 2 reds. But some of the other guys, like even Timo, you're included in this as well. Honestly, I'll put you. We're going kit to kit almost until recently. I was going kit to kit for the longest time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I was on 5 mil, I felt like I had too much money. Recently, I'm up to 15 mil because I've been doing shoreline farming and interchange farming with Philbo every now and then. But there comes a point where I get exhausted from farming. It's like I have to stream 8 hours a day to farm off stream for 8 hours just to pay for my Smash W and labs, and it doesn't work. So, yeah.
I mean, I've spoken about this before, but I made rules for myself this wipe about things that I could and couldn't do. To like change the way that the game played out for me. You know, I wasn't allowed to throw grenades unless I was specifically engaging in a fight. I wasn't allowed to do money runs. I wasn't allowed to pistol run or hatchling run or anything like that. I was like very hot that I was always supposed to go as geared as I could do, and I was always supposed to play as like true to the game as possible. I wasn't like gonna cheese anything or not necessarily cheese anything, but cheese it in my mind in this scenario was anything that wasn't just like a normal military scenario, right? Like out in the field sort of thing.
Right.
And that did a lot for me, especially with my money. I didn't have much money. I was like you said, I was going kit to kit. The thing that changed that was playing Resort, especially with Haze, just playing Resort all the time. You know, an average day on Resort, you pull in 2 ledies, 5 graphics cards, and that's just like a normal day. And
Yeah, had that today as well. Yeah.
So it's one of those things, you know, that my money was very tight for pretty much this entire wipe until I started just maining Resort.
That's because it's so fun though. It's just like I don't know, like
It really is.
It's
I don't know,
guaranteed
like
PvP
Resort would just
and loot.
yeah, exactly. It's insane. I
Trial
mean,
and
that's
error.
kind of why we switched to it on the dual battles because it's just like, well, we know there's gonna be players there, definitely. Obviously, it takes a bit of time to get there, but if we can find the players, then definitely, it's like I mean, myself and Timo are so confident on that one. It just makes sense. We just know things. We just know everything. So it's like, why not? Hey, instead of going like customs or just like it could be really dead, could be really stacked. I don't know. Like I don't know. It's weird.
And it was dead. The one customs raid we did do,
Yeah,
it was dead completely.
yeah. I mean, what? So yeah, well, I mean, we killed 2 at the start. Like, I mean, you traded with that guy with the the weird D singles or one, and then
yeah.
and then I got I got the other guy, and then it was just like I think I was only Rashala, and then I just F1 extracted. That was it. Yeah.
That's one thing I'm really intrigued by. And we're going to talk in patch notes. I'm going to be jumping. I'm terrible at this, honestly. I'm jumping around subjects. It just came to my mind then, like moving forward onto the next round. Are you going to be changing your rinse and repeat, or you're sticking with that?
So interchange is 100% guaranteed going to be in our rinse and repeat. It was in the first round and it did fantastically for us. It was in the semi-finals and it was our big points earner as well in our rinse and repeat. I think both of us would love to do shoreline interchange as our rinse and repeat. But we are one of our greatest strengths and also probably one of our biggest weaknesses in these battles is that we are very, very hot on time efficiency.
Yeah.
Which means that we don't wait to make decisions. We just make them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that means we get too far spread apart and one of us goes down to a camper or something, or sometimes that means that we don't make the right decision because we're making the decision quickly. But on the other side of things, it means that we are getting the maximum amount of raids out of the 3-hour time limit, and we're scoring as many points as we possibly can, as efficiently as we can. Which is why our rinse and repeat is where our points are made. And you said that during the commentary, you're like, yeah, these first sort of 7 rounds, Timo and Hayes are behind, but once they get into their rinse and repeat, that's where they make the points,
Yeah, I think by the time Walker and Spiral, you were on like raid 9. I think Timo and Hazel were on like raid 7, or like the points wise, you were actually you were kind of neck and neck in terms of raid numbers, but I think you guys had pulled an early lead.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I think we're always like 2 raids more than everyone else most of the time, and then we just kept going. But yeah,
part of that was because our very first labs raid, we spawned in, we died.
I mean, that was my I don't know, my mistake. I don't know. I didn't even communicate. I just fucking wide peeped this shit and got blasted by 2 Ash 12s. I was like, probably should have done something. I was just like, because like as you were saying, like in my mind, I was thinking we need to get this done quick. We need to just like quick, fast. I was like, fuck, I'm going yeet. I'll challenge this guy, and there was 2 guys with Ash 12s. I just got absolutely melted, and I was like, okay, right. Whoops. Should probably think about that one more.
The Ash 12 just doesn't care what armor you're wearing. Like, it just does not care what armor you're wearing.
That was wild.
I do want to see a team do customs reserve, rinse and repeat, and push the scab boss thing, because I think it's so easy to get.
That was our plan, but we just, we did what we did differently than the first round was we put customs early. We did labs and then customs, and then because we wanted to, the second we did every map, go back to customs, then reserve, customs, reserve, and that's what we wanted because we got really close the first time around. Like the first time we got 18. And we easily could have got it. Like we had another chance. I'm pretty sure we had a raid in the first round where we only killed half of Rashala, but the spawns just didn't happen. They just weren't there.
The other thing with the reserve as well, it's still the stigma, and it's still true that there's only pistlings and hatchlings. Honestly, they are finding gear squads, but for the battles tournament format, it's perfect. Either spawn, whichever you get, whether it's the march room by the bunkers, whether it's the heli side or dome side. Like those are the three main spawns. Obviously, you can get that one in the backfield behind night or behind the garages. Those 3-4 spawns, you rush towards either march room, you're guaranteed 3 or 4 PMCs, right? And as a 2-man, you can usually clear that out and just dip straight away. And it's in and out, less than 10 minutes, you're in and out. You're either dying or you're getting out. And same time, you can check for scab boss in those areas. I just feel if I was to do it again, I'd probably want to do that because, I mean, that's what we did last season. But this season, we went with interchange customs and it was working for us until we switched to shoreline. But it'll be an interesting. I think it's obviously a different strokes for different folks, but I think that's definitely a strat to because again, to push the 7 PMCs, I feel that's just doable for most teams at this point. But that scab boss one is big as well that not a lot of people are hitting.
Well, I mean, so that was part of mine and Hayes' communication decision. When we were chatting, when we were doing our first set of maps, after we completed customs and we got, obviously Hayes got the Rishala and 4 bodyguards kills, so we were at 5, right? We had reserve coming up after that, and we literally made the conscious decision. We were like, because I said to him, I think we should put shoreline in our rotation. It was literally a during the tournament decision. And I said, I think we should put shoreline in our rotation. And the decision that we came to together was that we were going to do that unless on our reserve run we ran into Glukar and his guards and the scav boss quest became possible, right? But because we went to reserve, we didn't find them or anything. We had 5 scav guard kills and we thought it's better to go for the PvP for us and our play style. I was also like, I was in my mind, I felt like we needed to get the 7 PMC quest done because I was certain Walker and Spiral were going to get the Scav Guard quest done. And so I knew we needed to have that big influx of points to stay ahead of them, sort of thing. Like in my mind, that was like a big thing. It was like, we need to get a quest done because I'm sure Walker and Spiral are going to get one done.
On Taurus and Offender got close on their customs. They got a 6 PMC customs run.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
It was just dorms. They got flooded at dorms. I think they had Rishala as well. No, they didn't. But then Ontaurus died on the way out at a gas station, which kind of made... And he had the baseball cap, which kind of made Offender play it more cautious. Like, let me bank the baseball cap instead of trying to chase a gunshot to the last... It was like, do I get a definite 10 points or maybe 25? That was his... And I think he on the day made the right choice on that. It's just unfortunate. And I think all of you across the board ended up with 5 scab boss kills anyway, so it was kind of like a
We got the weird ones, I think, like the ones that I wouldn't have thought that we were going to kill.
Like
we killed
Killer and Rishala or Sturman. You got Sturman.
Yeah, we killed two of Sanitar's lads, and then Sturman and the boys.
Yeah, you got 3 on Woods. That's a weird one.
Not a single Rishala. Like I play customs every single day, like maybe 20 raids.
Well, that's what
rolling Rishala up, and then I never see him on the big day.
That was the thing I was telling Sigma. I was like, literally the day before I was watching you guys, and that 97-point raid where you had Rishala, 8 PMCs, both items, extract, and it was just crazy. And I was like, although it took you 25 minutes, 20 minutes, I was like, if you have one of those just sprinkled in there with your 10-minute runs, like I kept banging on about 10-minute runs to everybody, even on the broadcast as well. I was like, 10-minute runs is what you're aiming for. If you're staying a bit longer, whatever, but don't be hanging around loitering.
Looting.
Yeah, it's not just looting, it's just slow rotations or like if you hear gunshots, sometimes there's 2 ways it can go. Imagine in resort, right? You're sat in, I don't know, 216 or something, looking for your surf kit, and you hear somebody run up, right? And you hear them. There's 2 ways people react. Some people just wait cautiously, wait for them to move, and you end up in a Mexican standoff. You're both sat in a room. Some people just want to push it, and it's like, in that situation, you kind of give it a couple of minutes, or even when your teammate goes down, because there's so many occasions where I kind of, I don't know, in hindsight, obviously made the wrong call. Like when Timmer went down to the guy on the fence, nading, and you made the rotation on the roof with Black's thorax. I still hold true to me. My own, like both of our opinions there. Me and Sigma were like, the roof rotation isn't the right move here. But you made it work. Only because in our minds we're like, your teammate's gone down, you can't get the survive, just go at him. You've already got 3 or 4 kills. Go at the guy, and then worst case scenario is you die, you're back in stash, and you're back into your next raid. Or like worst case scenario is you're chasing each other for 5 minutes, don't even get the kill, and you've just wasted another 5 minutes. You know what I mean? It's that kind of like risk reward thing of time.
That's true. That was the thing. Like I don't know. Like I just didn't want to push it because I didn't want to take a like an equal one-on-one fight because with the Black Thorax I'm dead instantly, right? So I wanted to sort of catch him and then kind of like take a long range fight, which happened, and I mean I'm not really sure what he was doing in the corner there, but whatever, I'll take it.
I think he was messed up as well. Obviously, Timo had a 400 damage in the end of his post raid.
No, that was a different guy.
Oh,
that was a different guy.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
there wasn't the same guy that I fought on the corner, and that's what I said to him on comms, and it was just so confusing because it seemed like he came from that direction. He was along the fence, and like, yeah, that's the same guy. And then when he loots him, I'm like, that's not the same guy.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't have any of my loot. He's not using the same gun. I'm just like, oh, but yeah, the thing that got me the most for the whole tournament was losing the extract points on reserve when I got that run through.
Oh yeah.
And
that's annoying.
Like, the thing is, I'd killed a scav. I'd been involved in PvP. I'd done 400 damage to this PMC down in the underground, and I'd engaged another scav as well and shot him up. But Hayes had got the final kill on him. And in my mind, I'm like, I've looted the Kof DM, I've looted the box of BS, I've killed a scav, I've been engaged in PvP, I've damaged another scav. Like, your mind doesn't go, oh, this might be a run through.
I think touching the body would have made a difference there. I mean, Matt and Walker, you got really close to something similar to that. When you did your reserve run, you shot each other in the legs and dropped each other's guns to make sure you had the XP to get out. At the time, I was like, are they memeing right? I know he's wearing a milk carton suit right now, but come on, legging each other at this time of the afternoon. Let's be professionals here. But yeah,
it was to the case of Walker was like taking out the PMCs and that. I was just like, well, let's just leave. And I couldn't find anything. No scavs, no players. It's like I just need one person. That's it.
Again,
I've got it.
Yeah, one thing that was highlighted about you all guys is the splitting up. I'm still 50-50 on it. Like when it works, it works. Do you know what I mean? Walker's chasing the action, and Matt, you're looking for items. When it works, it works. But there were times where I felt, well, not so much this time on it. I mean, I'm still got that prejudice in the back of my mind, that first round where Walker's fighting Scab Boss 2 PMCs, and Matt's down in the underground searching for beans, and he's like, "You need any help over there? You good?" And Walker's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it."
Found those beans though.
You did find the beans.
Honestly though, I think it's a really like beautiful thing because the duo tournament pre Matt and Walker was basically how me and Hayes play it, right? It was go as aggressive as you can, be as time efficient as you can, and just rack up those tags. And Walker and Matt have just like come into this and they were like, no, we refuse to do that because that's not our strength. We're going to play this, and we think we can do it this way, and we're going to do it this way. And they scored fantastically, and their points were great, and they took a completely different strategy into the duo battles. And I thought it was fantastic to see that they could take this like completely different way of playing it and actually still come up and compete, with the meta way of playing the battles, which I thought was really cool.
That's the really interesting thing about these battles, because they are like, obviously it's like community driven, and when it comes to the rules and stuff like that, it's all about how things played out and what was the meta. The whole reason why there was a big change in the rules this time is, again, not to toot our own trumpets, but me and Aero, the fact that we rinsed and repeat labs, the fact that one of us would go down, we'd smash W, either extract and get out,
and still get points for the extract.
Yeah, and like it was like they just wanted to change that, actually give some sort of like benefit to the teamwork. Do you know what I mean?
I do think though, instead of 10 points for a dual extract, I think it should just be 5 points per person that extracts. So I don't know if that way, if you both extract, it's 10 points. If your teammate dies, it's 5 points. I think it's a bit chalked off after, like, if your teammate dies, it's kind of like, oh, well, there's no point in me running to the extract. I might as well run that way and try to shoot someone. I feel that works to the PvP driven players more than the people like us who are trying to find an item. You know, I felt like it's a bit of a one-sided gig then. I don't know. Like we didn't get our first round. We got 25 kills, which I thought was very low, even for us, like the way we were playing. But this time round, we did 4 raids less, and
Yeah, that was very poignant.
we got 30 kills, and it felt like we did a lot of kills. So even though we didn't, looking at the scores, there's like 3 maps, right? Well, 2 maps. Forget labs. 2 maps where we didn't get anything. No kills. We got 8 scabs in one and 5 scabs in the other. Like, I don't know if Timo and Hayes had raids where I doubt it, where they got 0 PMC kills. If they
we had 2 raids.
2 raids.
Yeah,
Labs,
they did 2 raids.
Shoreline.
We just straight up got 0.
Yeah.
Labs and Shoreline. That Shoreline raid where they basically didn't even get a step foot in resort. And the labs, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I more meant like, so you didn't get anything else done on those raids, no? It was just straight up that, yeah. We actually sat through raids where we had our finger up our arse, running around trying to click scabs, and that was a lot of time wasted, I think.
Oh,
just like the reserve one where you shot me in the leg and stuff, dropped gear, and that was a lot of wasted time.
Yeah, but that were probably, like, as weird as it sounds, that was probably one of our highest scoring raids.
See, that's the thing.
Where's the scoreboards, by the way? I haven't seen the scoreboards.
I can send you screenshots
if you can. Yeah,
Walker, you're able to send them over to Hayes, because if I change my screens, it messes up. I've sent all 3 pages to Walker there.
Right. Let me go.
Or you can just put it up in the podcast, our group chat thingy thing, or just above us, above our voice. Yeah.
Do that.
Right. Yeah. Give me a second.
I think they're off KP, but
being able to see the breakdowns.
I'm not sure.
Awesome, actually.
Yeah. I haven't seen that before.
It was quite nice, like, be able to do something like this where Walker is a lot more PvP inclined than myself. Like, for those who see me play, I'm a full-on rat. I run around with nothing, and I will get an AK and I will take someone out with that, and that's I just one and kill and I'm done. I run out with that. But where Walker is running after squads, and it's like, okay, let's go, Dad. Let's see what we can do.
That's the thing that really I do enjoy, that's highlighted about Evasion. Like, although we do enjoy these PvP tournaments where it's like most kills in a certain amount of time, I think there's a time and a place for that. When it comes to these kind of, because it's, I wouldn't say I want to be inclusive, but there's so many ways to approach not just Tarkov, but like Tarkov tournaments and anything in between. And that's why, loot RNG sometimes, as frustrating as it is part of Tarkov. And I think involving it in these kind of events is important. If there was, like, obviously going back to last season, it was 5 points for PMC, 3 for a tag or something like that. It was so heavily weighted on PvP that the people who weren't that way inclined were basically left at the wayside. And it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's divided the audience. I think a lot of the audience do like PvP, but I think loot RNG just adds a whole level of drama sometimes, and it does help. I wouldn't say the more passive players, but like the players like Matt and others who, have their own style of Tarkov.
I think, like, what was interesting watching your round when you were playing it, because you were against Rob, and probably to the PvP crowd, like, they're the favorites or whatever. But I was watching them. I can't remember what map they were juggling with it, but pretty much every customs raid they had was like 70 points. So I'll be watching you, and I'd be like checking the scores, and okay, he's finished his customs runs plus 70 points. Okay, Iron has the lead here still, and then they'd have a shit labs run and they die instantly, and I'd be like, oh fuck. So then I'm going back to customs again, and I'm like, it was a tough one. But then again, you're looking at it, you're like, if you have a bad day. Like Hayes and Timo could have had a horrible day. They're clearly better, like PvP players, and they could have had a bad day, and
But it could have gone a lot better as well, because I mean, even me and Aero,
exactly.
We ended up with, what was it, 46 PMC kills. I think you guys end up in the 30s or something. I was expecting you to get up in the 40s as well. That was my. I honestly, my expectations of you guys, Hayes and Timo, was to get 400 points. I was judging by your practice runs and things like that. Although we joked about it a lot in terms of beating our score, I was expecting that record to get broken. If you had, like, not even a perfect run, just a good solid run, do you know what I mean? And I think you were just a notch below that, I'd say.
I think we felt like we had a rough night, didn't we, Hayes? Like,
it wasn't what we had hoped or expected at all. Like, it was just yeah,
Three
yeah, I
two
don't know.
something.
It was rough, to be fair. Like I don't know, we just felt like it was super rough. Like we just kept getting head eyes, or well, not even head eyes, but just like just kept getting sort of kind of screwed in some way. But at the same time, I feel like what is it? I think it's mostly because of um the the wipe and like how far it is into the wipe. There was so many chads, like it was
Yeah.
insane. There was so many thick boys. I think a lot of our kills in the first sort of the first round was kind of like, I mean, we played reserve, which was like, you know, a lot of hatchlings, pistlings, whatever. Like
Mhm.
it's just sort of like I feel like a lot of our kills there were easier. Yeah, like we had to actually really work for our kills for sure this time around, which made it harder.
One thing, again, we're going to talk patch notes in a bit. Is the Woods update coming up in this next
12.8? It's
12.8? That'll be interesting to see new Woods in the tournament. Obviously, we had a shoreline change mid-tournament with the new stims as well. It'll be interesting to see. I think it might become the for that week or so. Imagine there's a tournament on that week of the patch. That'll become the new hotspot. Like how everybody spammed shoreline that week. It was literally, you even went to cottages, you went to the gas station, you'd find 5-mans everywhere. I think that might be the case on Woods.
That was there was kind of scared for our first round. There was lots of talk about the customs expansion happening, because like I think Timo and Hayes played their round and we were next up, but they played on old customs. We had to play on the new one, and there was a fear because I hate dorms anyway. Like I never really go there, so I play mostly in the new area now since then. But back then there was no new area, you know what I mean? My customs runs consist of me running down the middle road. Like I hate dorms. I can't stand it.
Well,
I mean,
just
it's a little
because
bit
of
better now with the one window jump. Before the window jumps, there was like if you're stuck down a hallway.
Yeah, it's just a standoff, isn't
you're
it? In
stuck
rooms
down a hallway, and it was so, I don't know, boring. I think. Like
it was that how
way...
it became. It's like a very condensed mini version of labs where it was like, whoever is the aggressor and gets the face tap, or you know the kind of I wouldn't say ping advantage, but peekers advantage. That's what dorms fights usually end up in. Somebody's stuck in a room and you're stuck in a room, and then someone tries to third party. It's just like, unless you're very aggressive.
With the windows.
Do you know what though? I've become more comfortable in dorms again. I don't want to bring it back, but like, yeah, you have to be aggressive in that in dorm situations. Now, like you said, it's kind of it's gone a bit more like, not so much in that direction because the window jumps now. There's more angles, but it was very tight corridors.
I think dorms is a lot better now that it's not the only hotspot as well. Like during the first round that me and Hayes were in, of course we ran dorms because why wouldn't you in the tournament? But like, we ran dorms in a point in time where normally there was probably 8 other players chatted up running dorms too, right? Because there was nowhere else to go in customs. And when we felt that, we ran into dorms, we wiped Scav Boss and another player. And then we were heading out because we were like, we don't like this map, we're not great at this map, let's get out, let's move on to maps that we're good at, we don't need to waste more time. And then we met another Chad duo coming up to dorms from Big Red, like as we were on our way out, and died to them, sort of thing. And it was
I mean, I felt like we probably would have killed them with the HK more than like the DTMDR. I don't know what we were thinking about that really. I don't know why we. I mean, like I think we're just thinking like 308 was the way to go in terms of consistency, right? But now I don't know, dude. Like
then, I think back then.
But then we should have gone foul ready. But then foul's kind of like I don't know.
I think
anyway.
The comfort ground that I've told people to do is HKM4 and just mag dump everything. Don't run 995, 855A1, and don't expect to one tap stuff. Just mag dump everything, and you're probably gonna blow 2 or 3 mil in ammo because you're gonna be mag dumping scavs as well. And the other thing that kind of, I wouldn't say annoyed me, and like, it's unfortunate and Taurus and Fender weren't able to join us. They're both rich enough to run 5 mags in their rig, but both of them were running their norm of 1 in the gun, 2 in the rig, 1 in the container with 3 stacks of ammo. And the customs raid was one where on Taurus went down with the 6 PMC kills, where they were sat for 5 minutes packing mags and healing, and it was just like, just carry 5 mags and don't worry about packing. That's one thing you guys, I don't think I saw you pack a mag honestly.
No, I didn't pack any mags
We
at all.
didn't bring spare ammo.
Exactly.
The whole,
Like
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how.
I also bought a CMS instead of a survival kit because
Yeah.
wasting time. Yeah.
For sure. Like these little adjustments and changes. I do become a broken record at some people about preparation and kits and things like that, but those little adjustments can make the difference, especially even in a little gunfight where you're not dilly-dallying. And I think it just sets a mindset, honestly, like only going from a place of experience of having that mindset of momentum. Once you're, because I saw it with you guys, with like something about the way Hayes and Timo, where you approached it was almost very, very similar to how I approached it in terms of you even if it's a survival or a death, it's just like it's a building momentum. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that Walker and Spy were kind of dwelling on other things, but it was more a kind of like a reflective thing where a past raid would affect their future decisions. You know what I mean? It's a weird like mentality thing. I think both of you had that in where you were playing it by ear. Like, okay, so this has happened. Let's just not change the plan, but let's do this now because of this. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I suppose sort of a similar thing with the maps as well. Like one raid shouldn't define define what you're going to do for the whole the few next raids, right? Like it shouldn't change that. Like Tarkov's so random in a sense, like you can't really say that that's going to happen the whole time. It could it could just be like a one-time thing, right? So it's I don't know, it's hard to say, but I mean, I think with our shoreline sort of change, I think that worked out pretty well. That was nice, and it made sense to me. Like I was more comfortable there. So same with Tim. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shame that we had to chuck another labs in, honestly.
Yeah.
Because our first labs went so poorly, and we wanted to just have one more chance at getting an easy 20 points on those items,
Yeah.
So we chucked another labs into our rotation, and it would have been lovely if we didn't have to do that. And we could have stayed on our rinse and repeat the whole way through. But that labs, looking at the points here, it basically averaged about the same amount of points as the rest of our rinse and repeat maps did, except for the interchange raid. So
yeah, I mean like that first labs, I mean if we could like see the times at which we did I mean it took like maybe 3 minutes out of our time, so it wasn't that, well, not 3, I guess, queuing as well, maybe like 5,
7 or 8. Yeah,
so like it wasn't that long.
Well.
Yeah, true. So that's I don't know. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I mean two with no points is if we could have gotten like at least sort of 10 or maybe 15 points there, that would have been huge as well. It's also like I think I was going through the points and stuff. Like I know a lot of people don't really put any weight on scav kills or like just scavs and stuff, but like it's easy points. It's the freest points ever. Like I think we on interchange we always try to sort of go to the top center, because there's always like 3 scav spawns around the top center, and we just pick them off and then carry on our way, and we go into front ollie and just like mow through the scavs as much as we can, because it's just like 1 point per, and it's literally like, I don't know, that's the whole PMC kill if you find like 3 in ollie. It's the easiest points. So
we actually scored 47 points off of killing scavs on Thursday, which is actually a huge amount of points if you think about it.
Yeah, it is. It's huge.
And it wasn't it wasn't like we wasted a lot of time doing that.
No.
We were on the same routes that we were just taking a couple of seconds to line up a shot, pop a headshot, move on, and that ended up being an additional 47 points, which is huge.
Again, I know. Yeah, so go on, Walker.
No, I was just gonna double back. Gutted that we choked the guide on our.
Oh yeah, I was going to touch on that. I was following that because obviously you went down in your first labs run.
Yeah. Then we went down on a customs run.
Yeah, but then you ran through everything, and all you had was either customs and labs.
Yeah, if we got onto labs, we were just gonna stand
cheese it
in the sewers, smacking each other's legs for 10 minutes. We could taste it. We didn't care. We never thought we were gonna get it.
No.
And then it became very apparent that we're actually we can just play normally, and maybe we're gonna get the 25. And if we got it, I think 25 more points we would have won, which would have involved us getting smacked in the finals anyway. But
it was so difficult from a casting point of view, because there was so many points where I was like, we should go jump in their call 2 minutes, I'll be back in a sec, Sigma. I was just like, I'm hoping, I just kept saying, I hope their battle mod is on these things, like is like not putting pressure on them, but just updating them with these little things. By the way, you're up to this, and you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. But again, it's that overload of information. Because again, one thing with you guys, Walker and Spiral, you guys were like one of the first teams I battle modded after Timo and Hayes. Timo and Hayes, I kind of left them to it because I knew they had a plan. And I put myself in the shoes of a competitor where if somebody like Boosh or Dave was chirping in my ear, I'd probably tell them to get lost. Honestly, I'd be like, we've got a plan. You know, we've drilled for this, we practiced for this, leave us to it. And that's why, like, I let Matt go into raids without meds. That's why sometimes I was pulling my hair out in my own voice comms. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because there's an overload of information. You already got the pressure of, you know, competing and being in front of, do you know what I mean? And the whole situation where you don't want somebody to, you know, throw a spanner in the works. But I think battle modding, it's kind of made me think in a way where battle modding should be treated almost like a coaching kind of situation. Like you're the third man almost in a way. Not only just scorekeeper.
Definitely. Because the difference between having not to throw shade, but the difference between the first our two rounds that we played, there was a big difference there, you know. Like, don't want to blame anyone because, you know, but it's just like having that person kicking you up the hole and saying, "What, you Walker, why are you looking at that M1A for 5 minutes?" You know, like it you just, all right then, okay, fuck it, we're going into raid. Like, you know, it helped. It helped. Like, it did. It was good. I do say though, after we fecked up the guide, I think we tilted. We tilted a little bit with the extracts.
I can imagine.
Yeah, because from that point onwards, we only extracted once in a map, and I felt like I didn't notice it, but looking at the score sheet, because it's the numbers, right? You can see that something happened. You know what I mean? Out of our first, 7 raids, we extracted our first 6 raids, we extracted 4 of them, and then from that point onwards, we only extracted 1. We lost a lot of easy points there, and from the guide or whatever. I didn't think it affected me much at the time, but it kind of definitely did, you know.
Kind of morphed in those the custom raids that we died on. Was it ended when the car extract left without me?
Yeah.
What was the story with that one? What?
So I paid for the car, and it was extracting Walker, and it just wouldn't let me extract, and I had to run off because I was using so many stims. It was used up all my food and hydration, so I had to go back towards the skeleton house by the big warehouse to try and get some food, and then there's some PMC sat in there for me.
See, do you know what? So during that raid, I think you got like, you got like 5 or 6 PMC, 5 in that one, didn't you, or something like that? 4?
No, 4.
No, you know what it was? We went to dorms and someone already got slaughtered in there, and we just cleaned up. Like Scout Boss were dead, and there was a lot of potential.
So what happened during that raid in terms of the casting? Right, we started on that raid, and then we switched to another one, and I was still watching you guys, and I was like, they're doing their split up thing again. Walker's got a bunch of Scab Boss gear on him, 4 dog tags, and Matt's over in construction for some reason. Because you'd extracted on the car, and then Matt was still in. I was like, I was scratching my head, and I was saying to Sigma, they're splitting up thing. It sometimes works, and then sometimes you end up one of you's back in your stash. I put it down to you split up. I didn't realize the car bugged out. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, the car bugged. I was there waiting for it because I found some money on, because I insured the gear, and it used the money in my gamma.
Right. Obviously.
So obviously,
why wouldn't it do
luckily,
that? Working
I
as
found some
intended.
money on one of the scav bosses. So I was like, all right, awesome, got enough money. I went out, paid, it took the money, and I was just sat there waiting, and then Walker goes off in the car, and it's like, okay then, I'm just here dying, and I need to go now. And I seen that ZB13 was unlocked.
Right.
So I was like, all right, power's on, I've got my factory key, I'll just go straight there, I'll unlock it. And I just walk into there and get slaughtered.
Damn.
I just wanna throw in there, if we extracted on that run, we done all the other maps after that, we would have been back to labs instead of that customs run. So we're a little bit to think about, you know, it's in the back of the head kind of.
Yeah, not only did you get the extract points of that one, you then got the potential of the 25 of the guide. It was
We probably would have went in labs and got GL40, but
Probably.
if
Oh,
we
100%.
spawned in sewers,
100%.
like, you know,
Yeah.
Stay down there. Yeah.
I mean,
I think it was
it's one of those.
Phil. Who was it? Someone did it, right? Someone sat in there for like 10 minutes in the sewers in like the
I think it might
previous
have
round.
been, was it GURPS and his, I forget now, because they did the guide. I think both the Aussie
Yeah.
teams did the guide. I think Red Ops and
Mm-hmm.
I think Red Ops and Peak did the guide, and I think GURPS and
Mhm.
Rocket did it as well.
Do you
think.
think that's due to server density? Like,
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Aussie
the
teams are obviously not going to be running into as many people
well,
at all, are they?
their servers anyway are sparse, and they're
Hmm.
playing. I think at breakfast time, like literally like 9 or
Yeah.
before midday.
Yeah.
So looking over their score sheets, I think their maximum was like 5 PMCs, and they're not passive players. They're literally the most aggressive players out of all of us. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're not ones to shy away from PvP. They're literally clearing servers and getting 5 PMCs, which is really disappointing.
That's-
Honestly, it's
I think
unfortunate.
that's where regional ones. I mean, obviously don't have the manpower, but that's where because realistically, right? Let's say you know the Aussie lads made it to the final,
Yeah.
and they're against Primetime EU because we can connect to NA servers anyway, so it doesn't matter. They're going to be about 200 points behind.
Well, you say
You
that.
know what I mean? When it comes,
you do say that,
to the
but
killing side.
they're making up for the points in other places. Let me just.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Who have we got? Let me just pull an example, shall we? Red Ops and Peak. They finished with 315 points, and their
Okay,
maximum.
well.
So they did 11 raids. Their maximum kill count was 4 on customs. So just a quick rundown. This is PMC numbers. Labs 1, Reserve 0, Shoreline 2, Woods 2, Interchange 0, Customs 0, Interchange 0, Shoreline 0, Shoreline 1, sorry, Customs 1, Reserve 3, Customs 4. And they only died
fuck?
once. So out of 10 raids, they only died once, and that was their last Customs run. So they had the guide quest in the
Heavy.
bag. They had
The extracts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also all those team extracts, like that's
Mhm.
an
Yeah.
extra like 100
Yeah,
points
yeah.
in extracts, you know.
And all the well,
Mhm.
most items. They didn't even get item RNG. They got 7 items out of possible. What is it? 14 items possible? Do you know what I mean? It's so
Yeah.
it's the points are available in other places. But yeah, I think regional is definitely something that we can look towards for next season with more manpower, and it was just purely off the number of applicants that we had. We were pushing 300. There's definitely a possibility for having bigger brackets. We could probably have an EU, NA, and Oceanic brackets all separated out. But I don't know. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely possible. Like you said.
It's one of those things, because I mean, like me and Hayes did 14 raids, and we extracted together 4 times. But we only got the points for 3 because I had the accidental run through. But if we had just hit 6 more of those team extracts, that was the 400 point.
Yeah.
Right there,
So,
and
and
that's still half of our, that's still just over half of our raids extracting together on.
So
That's
again,
400 points.
another example: GURPS and Rocket, right? 13 raids. They got the guide completed, first 6. Their maximum PMC count was 4, and they did that twice. And all the rest, it was 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 3. It's crazy. To get 4
wild.
PMCs, and again, like GURPS is one of those, very, very aggressive players where they're going to be chasing gunshots. That's literally all they're doing, running around chasing gunshots, clear the map, get out. And they did. They had, 13 survives out of the 12 as well. So I think surviving raids is a big thing, honestly. Like, again, going back to Robin and Bikizi, they just didn't die apart from labs. And we were just clearing out customs over and over and over again, just flawlessly. It was ridiculous.
They're insane, really. I to be honest, when at the end of their night and they were like, "You have tied Hayes and Timo for the kill record," and
I was
I'm
like,
"Wait,
what?
what?
Sorry.
No way did they tie us? We thought they were gonna destroy us."
Yeah, right.
But yeah, honestly, and I'm not trying to make excuses for myself or anything, but and Hayes is well aware of the fact that I have some serious ping desync issues because I live out in the middle of the countryside and my internet is very unreliable. So a really exciting thing is that I will have moved house before the final, and will be in a position of much better internet, and hopefully I'm not going to be dying so much to what looks like me just being bad. Because
You'll have no excuses. I'm worried.
yeah,
Honestly, I'm really worried.
true.
What are you going to blame it on? The hat? I don't know. Like,
shit. Yeah. If things stay the same, you'll be like, oh shit. Just wipe the swervers forward. So yeah, guys, about that. Fuck. What do I do?
So it turns out the internet issues weren't why I was the riot shield.
Shit. As he goes to uninstall Tarkov. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Turns out actually the bad internet's been helping me all this time.
one thing I want to ask you guys, Matt and Walker. This is it was my observation, and I don't know if they kind of confirmed it or not. After Hayes and Timo's first round play of the duo battles, I saw, like as an observer and as a viewer, I saw a change in their playstyles in their regular raids. I saw them be a bit more aggressive. Has taking part in the duo battles opened up any sort of other avenues of playstyles in Tarkov, or how you play or approach Tarkov at all?
It's done the opposite, really. I used to chase everything, and I kind of figured that there's no point. We either both chase everything, or we neither, really. Do you know what I mean? Because that can be split up, because the point system. If one of us dies, we've cocked it for the other, really. We're not going to get the 10 points. So I toned it down a good bit. And it worked out for the most part. Like going from the first round to the second round, I died 3 times in the second round. I was quite annoyed because I spent like all my rubles in game building these kits, and even to the extent of buying like I had 16 grenade launchers, and I ended up using like 2. I have ammo cases full of grenade launcher ammo that I'm never going to use, and I can't vendor them because I get like 3k rubles for them. You know what I mean? Like,
see, that was the thing. Like, I wanted, although I wanted you to prep, I was kind of hoping in a way that you'd stay true to your roots in a way of I did want to see a stock AK run. I did want to see. Do you know what I mean?
I got the shotgun voodoo in there.
I liked it.
I wanted to use the VPO, but next solo, I promise you, I'll get you.
Solo, you got no chance though. Like, I don't get why you even why bring it up.
Right.
You're
not getting points on factory. You're not getting a single point on factory. Let's just say that right now. Neither of us are. Right. That's promise. That's promise. Me and you are.
Someone's getting minus points.
Everyone. But yeah, I'll kill him and then I'll go get.
You're not killing anything. Are you talking as if you're able to?
Crazy.
It's fine.
It's crazy. Because me and Headhunter are getting both of your legs at the start.
I wouldn't call his bluff on it because he will do it. I've called his bluff multiple times.
It's all smoke and mirrors, a distraction. Yeah. Basically,
but solo's a different ball game. Yeah. Really, it's more of a banter class. I think I didn't look too heavy into it. I know we get one fair kind of do what you want on your own raid, which is the reserve, which is literally.
Or if you've actually got a set of nuts in your pants, then you tell me what server you're on, and we queue at the same time, even with the countdown, so we guarantee that we're both in Helsinki.
I like it.
Both in Helsinki.
It don't matter about match time.
Both in Helsinki. I'll see you up at the dome. How about that? Sounds good.
209 VPO, mate.
Right.
That'd be good fun.
For the whole gameplay style is for Walker kind of toning it back more. I've kind of gone the opposite way. I've got more aggressive now.
Right, Dave.
And I think that's because I've been playing with him so much. It's kind of improved the way I play. As as he runs at me, and like I got Walker shouting at me. It's like he's just around the corner. Go get him. It's like, oh yeah, but I got a backpack full of stuff. It's like I don't want to lose it, and it's just like I've been farming killer for the past like 2 days now, and I'm just charging anybody. I don't really care anymore.
Our issue, a big issue, which we don't really actually it didn't really affect us too much because we didn't really care about it. Since the first round, which was I think either June or July 24th, something like that. I don't know. It was a long time ago, July, to be fair. Yeah, we're really far away. Me and Matt had not played together on like any map. We played like 2.
It was the day before,
runs. Mate. Yeah, we played the day before. We hadn't played I haven't played Woods since the first round.
Neither have I.
I hadn't played Shoreline since the first round. I've tried to play Labs, but
Oh yes. Oh my god.
Interchange. I've been trying stupid kits like running around naked with fucking Vapor Hunt.
Yeah, for the killer farm.
That's about it. Like I don't know. And then I can't believe it. Like I played customs like so many times in a row over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, and we bombed out on every single one. Tough pill to swallow for sure.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting back and we're like, what could we do better? If we had to go again and we were against, Hayes, Timo, and Offended next week, what would we do different? And the biggest thing, what I could say, what could have gone differently is they don't get 7 kills in energy. which had nothing to do with us. That, and we obviously, don't bottle a car extract, because I think what happened was I got reload bug, and I went to put money in the car. The car starts ticking down, right? He put money in the car. It actually took his money. The game didn't take my money, I don't think. And what happened was I got yeeted out with the car, and he had to run to his death, pretty much.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because
That's really
I remember
unfortunate.
opening my inventory, and the money was blinking.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So I think that's what happened. That's just poor luck.
Yeah. It's a weird thing.
That's not your fault, was it?
Yeah. It's a weird thing. Like,
just
probably, like, again, going back to my own experience with it, it's like you hope for a good day for yourself, and you hope that the other guys have a bad day. And for Timo and Hayes, it's like whoever's in your finals, it's like, yeah, you're expecting to put in a good score, but they got the potential of beating you. So it's like you're hoping that they just have a bad item RNG, or a bit of a run of bad luck. Or
I love Rob. I do love Rob, but I hope you lot win it, because they're not going to give any respect to this, like to the quests or anything. So they're just going to be blind PvP chasing everything. So I hope you boys win it, because you're actually gonna. If you don't win it, something has to change about the kill points next season, I think.
Well, that was the
someone
thing.
Can win it by paying no attention.
That was the thing that happened last season as well. Robin and Big Easy, they played in the All Stars. Me and Aero had the points total of 700 odd. I think they got 600-ish just off PvP and surviving. No items, no quests, and all this. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting
It's
again.
dodgy.
But at the same time, I don't mind it. The fact that there are quests, you can, if I don't know.
I feel like maybe there needs to be some sort of thing where like you have to get a certain item on this raid, and then next raid you have to go get a certain item. Otherwise, you get half the points or something. I don't know, like just all like I don't know, like you have to get that, or you get half the points or something. I don't know. I'm not sure.
The thing with it is though, like I do like brainstorming these kind of things, but I don't want stuff to rely. In my personal opinion, I'm not speaking on behalf of like Evasion, Sigma, and the other guys. When it comes to me, and when I throw my 2 cents into these things, I do like the looting aspect and the quest aspect, but I don't want somebody's success or failure in a tournament to rely on item RNG. That's how I feel.
True.
So like, because some people say like, I don't know, on customs, like a guaranteed. Imagine it's an item that's guaranteed, like, I don't know, a bottle of water or a tin of squash or something, just something random, where you have to get it out, or a scav balaclava or something, right? Whether it's across the whole 3 hours, or I don't know. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. I do enjoy brainstorming these things and tweaking these ideas, and that happens only through the people who've played it, understanding the points and seeing where things could change. And the main feedback that we've had, honestly, the main feedback that we've had is that people want a more heavily weighted PvP, even though we've dialed it back. People want PvP to be
really,
yeah. That's when I don't know if you've had feedback forms yet. But throughout the whole tournament so far, the main feedback, and it's usually from people who haven't won, honestly, who haven't got through. They want more heavily weighted PvP, but
okay, right.
And that's solos and duos.
I
think you go.
I was just gonna say I was thinking about this a while back actually, in terms of points and stuff. And there was a system that I ran across a long time ago for something that I thought would suit this really, really well. And it was a multiplier system. So essentially, you would get kills for scav kills, like, and scav boss guards and stuff, items looted, team extract and stuff. And then your PMC kills and tags would be a multiplier on your points. And what I mean by that is, like, so if you got 2 items and a bunch of scavs and stuff, that's like what, 25 points, 26 points, say. A PMC and a tag, right?
Yeah.
Your your multiplier would, before the PMC and the tag would be 1 times, the PMC kill would make it 1.1 times, and the tag would make it 1.2 times. Which means that your points would get an extra 20% added on, sort of thing.
Right. Did you ever watch the Solos season 1 and 2?
I watched a bit of it, but not a huge amount of it.
Solos season 2 was factory only, and it was that banking system where you kill PMC scavs, extract, and then you told your battle mod, I'm either banking it or risking it. If you bank it, then those points are banked. If you risk it, you go into the next raid with a multiplier. But if you die, you lose all your points.
I've seen this one. I remember that a while back. I think Reeves
Sounds
in it.
kind of fun,
It
actually.
was super fun, but it was like you'd get people. The points would be somebody would either get 100 points or 0 points, and
super lucky. Yeah.
But it's not even just luck. It's just that taking that chance, and for the most part, most of the experience, like experienced players and people who are aggressive, nobody was banking. Everybody was like, I'm going to put on a show and I want to get the most points. Either I'm leaving 0 or 3 digits. That was literally it. And it was good fun. But there were times when everyone's like, if you played it safe, you would have won just purely off the numbers. But they were like, we didn't want to. I want to break some records here. You know what I mean?
I get that. I think that comes across as a bit like, you're saying about item RNG. That could be kind of PvP RNG, really. Like imagine those lads. I'm pointing at Team Hunter. You guys were in a raid, right? And you guys killed 2 guys, but it was really long, good fight. You get 10 points. Meanwhile, me and Matt are over on nighttime reserve, smacking 6 hatchlings. Who's winning? And the PvP RNG is a thing as well. Like I always just looked at the duos because it has this tasking thing. It's all about being a complete duo, like not just being a PvP or not just being rats and quest, and like you have to.
True, Joe.
The rats have to step to the PvP side, and you have to find like some sort of perfect balance to make everything work. I do think the points are stacked fairly, but towards PvP. Like you can go into a raid and get 2 items, it's 20 points. Get an extract, it's 30 points. But you can smoke 6 PMCs and get 30 points. Well, you can smoke more and scavs and
I mean,
it's balanced.
Anything, I think it's fairly balanced, to be fair. I mean, like smacking 6 PMCs isn't
easy,
no, it's not easy. I mean, like finding them isn't easy. Yeah, but I don't know, that's just something else. But yeah, I don't know, like I feel like it's fairly balanced, to be fair. Like you can just go into a raid and not get any PMCs, but get 3 scavs and 2 items and like a team extract, and you've made the points up in that way, which is I think it's really cool. So you can sort of use the dead raid to sort of get points elsewhere.
So that was the thing with Rocket and GURPS. Although they survived everything, they had 12 out of 12 items. Like they got every single item.
That's mad.
That is mad.
Yeah, that's sick.
I need to message Robin actually, because I need to find out what server he connects to. That seems to, well, no, I'm trying to work it out.
Bit of stream
he connects to a specific server where every other player on the map is completely clueless, or he's
Tarkov
just
Prime,
so good.
Paid actors.
He's just so good that he makes other players look completely clueless, and I can't work out which one it is.
Paid actors. He's terrible at the game. Like I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Robin's actually terrible at the game. He actually plays with the back of his palms.
Compensate,
like his hands upside down.
It's just the amount of times that when they got the crazy 7+ kill customs raids, like multiple times, they were coming up against squads who were just like flailing their arms up in the air trying to be killed. And I was
it's insane. There's a thing that happens, right? And I can only tell you this from experience of mainly in labs. When you go up against somebody who's that aggressive, and that it happens a few times, right? It makes you you either bottle it completely or you step up, and the amount of aggression that he puts into a gunfight, it just makes everybody absolutely bottle it. They forget how to left click. Do you know what I mean? That's literally what happens.
That is true.
That's a good point. Because like I feel that in labs a lot of the time. Like I meet there's quite a few good players. That's why I'm kind of like with labs, because I'm just like fuck. Like it's like
the people who do
dude.
People who do M62 nade pushes, right? When you watch Quattro, even DJ, our own little DJ friend, right? When you watch him M62 push, everybody's just standing there, and it's like they're literally rabbit in a headlight, standing there, not moving, and he's just like throws a nade, sprays down a 3-man, and he's now reloading while looting the bodies. It's like there's a level of aggression in this game that just makes other people absolutely freeze up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's confidence, isn't it? Because I mean, I think me and Hayes have experienced that on Shoreline a lot, where we've engaged the squad and we have like me and when it comes to resort, Hayes and myself have so many flanking tactics. Like we know, and we can say a couple of words to each other, and we're performing some flanking maneuver.
Oh yeah, I saw even on Shoreline this time. There was a guy at the end of the stairs, and Sigma kept saying they're gonna team kill, they're gonna team kill, they're gonna team kill. I was like, nah, it's a perfect up down push here, and you got him on the stairs. Tim was above, you were below, and it was perfect. Sorry, carry on.
Like I think our confidence on Shoreline, on Resort specifically, and the fact that we know all of that, we've got all that, our comms are down, our tactics are down, our flanking and everything, and we just, we know how to execute and we do so. I think we do often find fights where people are just flailing about and not sure what to do. Especially in Eastwing when we first turn up. The amount of times we've gotten into fights where we've turned up to Eastwing and people are already inside and we just walk all over them because they're like, I don't know what to do. So I kind of see that.
You guys love Shoreline then, obviously, right? What do you guys do you think when they add the fact that you'll be able to jump through windows on that map, they kind of remodel it? Because I know that they're gonna border up balconies. The ones that they don't want you to get through without keys, you won't get through. But when they add the ability to go through windows, do you think it's gonna mess it up a little bit for you? I like, for example, when I peek a hallway and I know he's in that room and I know that room has no balcony and I know he's not coming out of that room. It's as simple as dunking an aid through the door, as long as he doesn't run out, Now that there's going to be smashable windows if they do remaster the map or whatever, effectively, he goes in that room, he can come out 6 doors down, you know what I mean?
I think, like, audio needs to be fixed. I think if audio gets fixed in Resort before that happens, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But at the moment, audio in Resort, I mean, me and Hayes, we kind of use it to our advantage, and it also is a piece of information as well that, like, like, if you're outside and you can hear someone, they're ground floor or their roof. If you're on second floor
or balcony, somewhere.
Yeah, or balcony, and like we know based on what we can hear, we know what floor they're on immediately, no matter like how muffled it is or like positional at all. We just know based on the fact that we can hear them what like their general location is, right? And so it works in our advantage in a way, but like especially in that situation, like, and that's the thing. If you're on ground floor, someone runs up to second, you can full sprint above them the whole way down the wing, and they don't hear a thing.
Except for, say that again.
So if you are a floor above someone in Resort, you can full sprint down the wing above them to the other end, to the other stairwell. They won't hear anything.
It's the opposite on Reserve. Like if you're in say Blackpool or Il Bishop and there's somebody 2 floors above you, you can't tell if they're basement or 3 floors above you. But you hear them clear as day, but you can't pinpoint which floor they're on. They can be down in Mart doing a hokey cokey down there and it sounds like they're above you.
Like literally the next floor up or a floor between you?
Literally the next floor up.
That's
what's the thing, like some but like
that down.
at the same time, like it's I feel like today I've had it where I've even heard someone, like I've been what is it, like bottom floor east outside thin stairs, and I've heard someone like run above me like doo, 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 doo. I just hear them go across. I'm just like, oh, and then they just drop down the hole outside 110. I'm just like, oh, okay. I know that they've dropped. Yeah, I know where they're going. So I don't know how that audio works exactly. I feel like there's some occlusion on top of that with the walls on your floor. And if you're behind a wall, you can't hear him if he's over there. But then you go behind, and then you can hear.
I think it's the floors with holes in as well. So like if you're ground floor east, you can hear onto second floor because there's the hole in the floor, right? That you can drop down through.
Okay.
But
at some
if you're
point,
second floor east, you can't hear third floor east.
I feel there's a cutoff on that though.
Hole.
If they're like around the hole, you hear them. But as soon as they move away from the area, if they're on the back end of that floor, you're not hearing a thing. You'll hear them open. You'll hear a key opening. 100% you'll hear a key opening from the other side of the resort. But you won't hear any sort of footsteps, and you'll hear a duffel bag open or a loot, something getting picked up, the ching of a Bitcoin or something. You know what I mean?
So busted.
Yeah.
I've heard
That's the fun
someone
thing, yeah.
opening 306 West. So 306 West is the 4 computer room. I've been at 301
East.
opening 301 in East, 306 East. I've been at 301 West opening the LEDX room, and I've heard the key open in 306 East.
That's crazy.
Like
Yeah.
when someone's opening the computer room, you're like,
That's also that's one thing as well, is I've been in 301, and like if I hear like distant sort of like sprinting footsteps, I know they're on the same floor as me. Like I know that they're on 3rd floor east. Okay, like because I know I can't hear them if they're on 2nd or 1st. Like I just no way I can hear them. I know that, so I know that I can come out the door, out the thing, and pre-aim the, obviously depending on the where the clouds are, and if it's a good visibility through to the other side, I can just pre-aim it and tap, and he's he's dead, because I know I've heard him. I know exactly where he is. So it's I don't know. So I mean, hopefully they fix it so that you can actually, you don't know as much. But I mean, it's kind of an experience, and it's kind of a skill in the way of like, because you played it so much, know this kind of stuff, right? So I guess skill gap things. I don't know.
Yeah, the audio is still jank though, and I think especially in situations where like when jumping through windows is going to be a thing, that's going to make that information not as useful, right? That the information that you get by knowing I can hear him, he must be here, and suddenly I can hear him, he must I can't hear him, wait, I can hear him again, I can't hear him, and suddenly it's just going to be so difficult to use that audio information as like guaranteed knowledge. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm pretty sure, like, I know that Nikita has spoken about the fact that he's got more work to do on Shoreline, especially Resort. So I'm hoping that includes fixing all the audio, like, to make it a bit more realistic. I hope they don't take it too far, as in, like, Reserve style too far, where you're, like, in the basement checking for red and you're hearing guys running along 3rd floor. But
I don't mind being, that's the thing. I like having more information, but when it's more information of nothing, what I mean by that is when you're down at marked and you hear somebody above, you don't know if they're 1 floor above you, 2 floor above you, 3. There's the same audio. That's one thing I was disappointed about. Going to we'll move over to the podcast that was brought up. No mention of audio on that, which I was kind of disappointed in. We don't know when we're getting the next Steam audio modules, etc. No mention of any sort of reworks. I was given, like, I did, Dimitri had the form of submitting questions, and there were my main 3 things were the question of private servers for these tournaments and audio reworks, what their timelines were. But one of them got addressed, but the other didn't, which is disappointing. But I was hoping, I don't know. I like I said, I know it's a work in progress, but I'm hoping. I don't know. They always talk about the next Steam audio module being the. I don't know. It's just I struggle with audio in this game. I really do, and it's to the point where I wouldn't say makes it unplayable for me at times, but I rely on a lot on audio, and I think it's made me change my playstyle where I'm like, I kind of want to wear an Alton where I can't hear anything, just so I'm not relying on it, and I'm not like blaming the broken audio to a certain degree. I don't know what you guys think about.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, how many people here actually do use the binaural audio?
Yeah,
I scrapped it after a month. I couldn't do
it.
Really?
Okay.
I can't tell. I couldn't really tell the difference. I'm not gonna lie.
So my experience,
accepted it.
I played the game very, very loud. That's one thing. Like at one point, I'm gonna like put my headset on my mic just to give you guys an idea of how loud I play the game. I mean, I have like semi-open back headphones, so there's a lot of sound bleed. But if I have my headphones off at any point, say if I go to get a glass of water and I'm still in game, I hear my headphones and I'm like, oh, actually that's maybe not dangerously high levels, but I do play the game loud. But there are occasions where I'm playing with Philbo and he's like, how do you even hear that? That's not max perception. That's something else. Why are you hearing these things? With Steam audio, the 2 things are directional sounds are more accurate, but distances are so hard to judge. You don't know if a gunshot is 50 meters or 100 meters away or 200 meters away. The distances just blend in with each other. You know that, okay, it was in that general direction over there, but judging the distance.
Yeah, okay.
But the actual directional, like, sweep of it, it's almost like radar, where it's like that was exactly at this degree in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then that
Yeah,
for me
that's true,
just threw me off completely. I couldn't deal with it. Like the one way I've tested it, right? If you go to labs, there's a clip of it somewhere. Me and Aero went to labs with razors on. He runs from black to blue, does a mag check, and I'm sat in black. He runs to blue, does a mag check in blue. In my audio, it just sounds like he's running on the spot and then does a mag check. It's terrible. For me, it was just like
Right.
unplayable.
Now that
So-
you've said that, I understand. Do you guys know the difference? Have you guys, like, for example, Timo Hayes, because I know you do, Matt. The difference when you're standing in customs, right, and you hear shots off in the distance, and you can tell if those shots are outdoors or indoors.
Yeah.
So I've had like I've been in positions where like they shot sound close, but they're in that direction and they're indoors, so they have to be in dorms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so they sound like they're on the other side of the wall, but they're indoors. So you immediately disregard. It's like, okay, there has to be dorms. So that's I understand what you mean about distance and been wrong. But I kind of just turned the audio thing on when they added it, and I've never looked back. I've just kind of took
same.
that as that's Tarkov audio now.
That for me was like I enjoy, like, I understand this is a beta, we're testing stuff. I don't mind being broken, but for me it took a month of using it to almost being like I have to revert it because it's, I wouldn't say it's unplayable, but it just, for me, I just couldn't function with it, and I had to revert it. Maybe I could have adjusted, maybe, but it just wasn't for me.
My decision making in it was that they're going to update it again, and it's going to be a more extreme difference from the vanilla audio when they update it again, right? And every update they send to Steam Audio is going to be a more extreme difference from the vanilla audio. So for me, it was a case of, do I want to go to binaural now and learn it and have less to learn on the next update, or do I want to stick with vanilla, and then when Steam Audio's like gotten to the point where it's really, really good for the game, I've got to go through a massive change in learning because it's so drastically different to vanilla, and so that's why I decided to stick with it. Did some testing though with it, turning it on and off and using different things. Different contacts are better depending on which audio system you're using. I don't know if anyone's tried to use razors with the new binaural. It's horrible. Razors with the new binaural is horrific because, like you said, the new Steam Audio doesn't have as much depth, like understandable depth in the sound of the shots. And we also know that Razer contacts are the worst for understanding depth as well. So when you combine those two up, it becomes almost like completely impossible to work.
You
out
hear
the
too
depth
much. That's what it is.
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
I think what it was at that time, I was playing a lot of labs, and labs is literally sound whoring to the max. Like you know, you just know when you play that much labs, you could be on med side and you hear a gunshot, and you can pinpoint whether it's, you know, it's the other side of the map. Most people say, oh, it's the other side of the map, but you can know if it's button room, you know if it's yellow, you know if it's arsenal, you know if it's kitchen. But it got to the point where it was just like, it's over there. You just hear everything. You hear more, but you can't pinpoint the direction on it. And I think I don't know, maybe that's.
But then there were other things. Contact 2s with the new binaural audio are the now go-to king.
Okay.
Contact 2s are the absolute king of contacts with binaural audio on. The one thing that flipped me, Ian, do you remember when we duoed together? And I was wearing razors and you were wearing contacts, and we were at warehouse 14, and you were up towards the train, and I was like at the door of the building, and you suddenly go, I just heard I heard a scav inside the other warehouse, across the road, and I'm like, I'm closer to that warehouse.
Yeah.
How did I not hear it? And I asked you, I was like, what contacts are you wearing? You're like, I'm wearing contacts too. And I'm like, contact 2s. And I'm like, but I'm wearing razors, which have the highest distance hearing of all contacts. And that got me really confused. And so that's when I did some more testing into it. And that's when I realized the razors are crap with binaural audio. They're great with the vanilla audio, but with binaural, they suck. But yeah, and since then, I tested TAC Sports and I tested Sword-Ins, and I got with binaural audio, Sword-Ins are amazing, but if you want to hear more than 30 feet away from you, don't use them.
Well, it took 2 weeks of Philbo playing with me for him to invest into DT 770s and a DAC, and he's like, it's like I've got a new set of eyes. I've got a new pair of ears on my.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's crazy how like IRL headset. I bang on about a lot. A lot of people are wasting their time with these gaming headsets and stuff like that.
Oh, completely.
And it's Tarkov is a whole different ball game when you got good headphones IRL. It's I don't know. I'm not an audiophile. I'm maybe an audio snob because I do put on other people's headphones at times, and I'm like, I would never game with these. Maybe a single player game, but anything multiplayer competitive in the bin. It's not just the clarity; it's just the loudness. It's literally just having the game louder helps so much. And just a £50 DAC, and everybody go out buy. I should be sponsored by them. Buy an E10K DAC and just boost your audio, and it's 50 quid. It does the job.
Dude, that's what I was going to bring up when you were saying about audio. It's like all of you guys use like overhead headsets and everything. I've moved away from that to now earbuds.
Yeah,
and I'm finding like I know Walker's gonna hate this, but because we've discussed this before, but in game I hardly use contacts. I don't use them because I don't see the reasoning for using them. See, there he is thinking this shit.
Okay.
But it's purely to the fact
Who's
that
going
I
to be your
find
teammate
I
for
have
season
my
4,
game,
Walker? Sorry.
exactly. I have my game so loud that I'm confident enough I can hear people.
Oh, I can't wait for the concussive force update.
Yeah.
The concussive force update, Matt's going to run into dorms. He's going to fire a pistol once and he's not going to be able to hear for the rest of the raid.
He's like going to be
Well,
flashbang.
once that changes, I'm more than happy to use them again, because like previously I did use them all the time, but once they bring in the audio, where I'm having contacts and I'm engaging in a gun, like for I don't know dorms, I'm engaging in a gunfight inside dorms, and I'm then hearing somebody running up like below, just like scav, just talking inside like the second story or something. I don't care about him right now. It's like I'm more focused on this guy.
He
But it's
saves
also-
money
I
on
suppose-
contacts. He saves money on
Yeah.
helmets. He runs class 3s.
Yeah,
He's
I'm a
he's
definition of a
stingy,
scav,
man.
mate.
He's rat
stingy.
daddy.
But just remember, Timo has seen the rat daddy at work. Like they always say, "Is like, oh no, I'm number one rat." There's not many people that can go into a raid with absolutely nothing and walk out of like the entirety of Scav boss loot.
It's true.
Alright,
Look, to be
alright.
fair, like not last week, but the week before, it was hilarious. I kept coming into Matt's stream in the evenings, and he'd be there, and he'd just be ratting it out something chronic, right? And I'd jump into a stream, and I'd be like, "All right, rat daddy," and I'd start giving him shit and shit talking and stuff, and he would change. He like a switch would flick in his head, and suddenly I'd like I was just like, "Hey, Matt, go labs, Matt, go labs." So he just pulls out a 1911, goes labs, walks out with a backpack loaded with gear. He engages a 5-man with grenade launchers with a 1911. He's just like, "I don't have any fear. I'm gonna fucking take you guys on."
He ran away from me and left.
Yeah, they literally ran away from him. He headshot one but didn't kill them. Like it dinked off the helmet.
That's
And
funny.
they were just like, "Oh fuck this guy's a fucking god. We're out of it."
Get one guy
Probably
just
thought
running
you were
at
cheating. like.
I got that one guy who's literally full on going at me with an AK, and it's like I just killed a raider. I've got a shotgun. It's like I've got
Yeah.
10 bullets. Let's see if I can take him out. Oh no, 3 shots in, he's now dead on the floor. It's like, oh, well, now I've got this guy's stuff, and let's go to the next guy. It's just
I hate labs, man.
I've
Oh,
been
that labs
trying
raid
to
yesterday,
get
Walker.
better at it.
Oh,
My eyes twitching because I'm thinking about that
Bruh.
raid. That
So-
raid nearly had me off the
so
stream.
let me paint the picture because I was watching from start to finish that stream. An hour in, Walker actually ends the stream and comes back because of eight raids in a row. I think we counted 8, didn't we?
8, yeah.
8 raids in a
was
row. Scav face taps. So then he's like, I'm gonna do an Iron Fist. I'm going geared into labs. He throws on a slick, an ult in, pulls out, what was it, an ASVAL or a M4 or something.
And Geo. I
Geo
brought
and
a
a
grenade
Geo.
launcher with me.
He's like, let's do an Iron Fist. Let's go in there. Raid backpack. How are we playing labs? What's going on? Runs around for 10 minutes, not a single gunshot. And I was like, 100% guarantee, money on it. Somebody's in green. He runs up to green. Lo and behold, unlocked. He's swinging around in there. He's like, nobody in here. Walks into the double doors and he swings right a little bit and then swings left. You see a barrel poking out and an AK sprays in the back. He's like, no, not like this. It was the
I
most
just
painful.
don't understand.
It was the most
'cause
painful
with-
thing to watch.
just off assumptions.
Yeah.
most of the community, I'd say, are about 20 to 30 male, right?
Okay.
It's a fair assumption,
Yeah.
right? There is a 20 to 30-year-old man standing behind the doorway. I'm not saying nothing else, but I mean, I hate them out. Let's talk about the patch, all the good things that's coming to talk.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of good things. I mean, I'm
What's
not
the best thing?
Excitement.
the best.
in your
I'll let
opinion?
you. I'll let you guys go because you're probably going to cover it before me.
So I mean, like the biggest thing for me, I know it hasn't been confirmed like in the next update, but the fact that Nikita spoke about it was a huge thing for me because Hayes knows I have about 50 videos like written, storyboarded, planned out, ready to go as soon as offline co-op comes in. That are like proper, like cinematic, like
Yeah.
scripted, like
Yes.
videos. And as soon as Nikita said the offline co-op soon, and I'm just there like,
Mhm.
this is the best thing. The content I will be able to create with this feature is going to
Yeah.
be so much fun.
You could like
Like-
recreate like your clips with actors and make
Yeah.
proper actual frag movies that are. It's astounding what people have tried to do already. You know,
Yeah.
without any like.
Yeah, without
I don't
co-op,
know, like
just
they're
like queue
redoing it in
sniping.
live raids. Yeah, it's mental. You go back to like Call of Duty, like years and years ago on Xbox, giving us theater modes or something. Okay, it's a dream that we'll ever get something like that because that
I'd
would
love
obviously
that.
require less effort, you know, to having a steady cam or something, you know, being able to actually get cinematics and stuff instead of, you know, because I've tried it. I've entered one of the competitions before that Tarkov put out. And I went in with my friend to like even on that video I was showing you on like trying to steady cam on factory, but your character's taking a step and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's near enough impossible. I've tried to correct it with plugins and After Effects, and it does a job, but nowhere near.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
like,
It was
you know,
like a
cam footage.
30-second clip that you showed me there, a factory that you made. I couldn't imagine how long that would, like an hours of work of trying to edit that. And although it looks good, for me, that amount of effort for that amount of time, I
just
don't have
love
it.
it to be simpler.
So I can like, so I used to, prior to becoming a streamer, I used to work in graphic design and marketing and video work and stuff. And there's a trick that I'll happily let you know now, you know, to getting it done. And you obviously have to have the technology to do it. But if you were to record Tarkov in 4K and bring your FOV back a bit further, and then what you then do is say you're creating a 1080p video, right? You actually take about 75% of your screen, or maybe 80%, depending on the action that you're trying to create, and you use that gap around the edge before you downscale it to 1080p as the stabilization gap, which basically means the footage is actually moving around on the screen in time with your PMC's movements, and that basically means that it looks perfect. And the unfortunate thing is if you capture in 1080p or 1440p and you try and do it, you don't have enough of leeway and it ends up looking kind of blurry or pixelated or warped or something. But if you record it in 4K, you'll end up getting a much steadier picture. And it's what a lot of like small filmmakers that use red cameras and stuff in 4K and 8K do to make their footage look so clean and sharp, is actually they record way more than they need to. And then in post processing, they bring it back down and stabilize with it and crop it out. So I mean,
Makes
that's
sense.
yeah. But can you imagine if there was an item in game that literally was just like a camera on a like on a gimbal or something, and when you ADS with it, it just allowed you to look with no items in like a cinematic view, and it was perfectly steady. Your character's movements had no impact on it whatsoever. That'd be sick. That'd be amazing for
it was
content
brilliant.
creation.
The only thing that I know, the probably reason why we're probably never going to see most of these kind of like, when it comes to spectate theater mode, not just like the lore and immersion of Tarkov, how exploitable it would be. That's the main problem. All these cheats and hacks, like Timo, we've spoken about previously, the NVIDIA highlights thing was like the reason behind most early hacks, like that being exploited, and that having, you know, flaws in the system were being exploited. So that's why I've always the idea that I've always had was that all PMCs were wearing a GoPro, and when you loot their dog tag, you can see their point of view of that raid or something like that. Something because I really loved times like Walker, you down to that guy in green. I'd love to see his point of view after raid and just see what his movement was. Maybe possibly Walker, right? Maybe possibly he literally unlocked green a minute before you got there, heard you come in, and sat behind the door as you came up. Not saying he did, probably didn't, but there are moments where you're like, that guy's been sitting there for 20 minutes, and then he comes in chat. Honestly, hands on heart, I literally just turned up. Don't blame me. I'd love to see other people's point of view sometimes and just see what actually went on. But yeah, the offline co-op, that's huge. That's big. I love it.
I mean, like, surely with the offline co-op raids, it's hosted on the local PC, right? So surely then they can give you an option to actually enable some sort of spectate camera, because that's no stress on their servers, it's on your end, right? So if it can handle it, then technically, surely that'll be all right.
It's not necessarily about that. It's about it being built into that branch of the game, which means that it becomes exploitable for the online game. So this is, I mean, Hayes, we were talking about this. Nikita's confirmed private servers for the next Punisher tournament, or the one after that. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's the third one.
Yeah. And the big thing about that is that it's going to be on a completely separate branch of the game. It's not going to be on the same client that we normally play Tarkov on, right?
Yeah.
The private servers will be connected to via a separate branch of the game that you have to download and install and stuff, which means that they can activate one thing they have in the dev branch that isn't in the main game, which is developer camera.
Yeah.
You know how Nikita makes all those cool shots in the maps and stuff where he's flying through them and you've got aerial shots and that? That's using the dev cam. That dev cam can be in this private server branch for the tournaments.
For the casters.
That'd be sick.
The casters to be able to spectate in camera mode in raids and not take up player slots and all that sort of thing. It's going to be incredible.
It's amazing. Really please give Evasion this. I'm gonna keep spamming to me, please.
Yeah.
But like what is it? Shit. Yeah. So like with PUBG, I think also Kurt in chat just said like a top down 2D sort of thing. Like with PUBG, you know they like you can sort of get the telemetry files, and that sort of shows you the raid and how, like, you know, in sort of a top down 2D, like little dots walking around the map and shit, like doing like whatever, right? I mean, I wouldn't mind that as well. Like, you know, just to see the sort of the flow of the map and how things work out. That could really help out. I don't know.
I always think back to Arma 3 when you used to die in Arma 3 BR and you used to float your camera around and be like, there he is in the reeds.
Yeah.
The only issue is, and this is the horrible thing about a lot of these mechanics that we would love to see in the game, but like telemetry files, right? That's part of why PUBG has such a massive ESP hacker problem, is because those telemetry files are accessible. And if they're accessible, then they're accessible by third-party programs during your game sort of thing, right? And then suddenly that third-party program like works out what the telemetry files are sending, and bam, you've got an ESP.
It's like,
you know where the player is.
Imagine,
you know.
So yeah, sorry to cut you off there too. Like I've always said, post-raid replays would be amazing, just to see people's movements and stuff like that, and also just a self-analysis as well. If I had rotated this way, etc., etc. But the fact is, I don't think we'll ever have it, because if that is being recorded in the background, somebody somehow is going to gain access to it and exploit it and use it for cheating purposes. That's the main problem we've got.
Yeah, and then if they want to add that, then you have to add things to prevent that, which means that it's a cost to the performance of the game.
New layer of, it's a whole
same thing with the what is it with encryption of packets and stuff like that. So it's like that's dropped frames by, I'd say, like on average 20 FPS for me anyway, personally, since the like from the patch where it wasn't on there to the patch where it's on, it's like it's pretty clear. So
for sure.
Yeah.
So like
go on.
in Tarkov, you know, not to spill too much on how it all happens, but a big part of how Tarkov ESPs are capable of doing that what they want is because of the recording of data that already happens. That post raid screen that we get, where it tells you like how much damage you took to each limb and all of that sort of thing, that information being collected in raid feeds the cheats, feeds the hackers, right? Because it's information that they can use. So like even what we've got in the game already, even though it's basic as ever, is actually already feeding the hackers. So you imagine you take a more extensive feature or mechanic, and it just again becomes easier for them to make the hacks, the cheats, etc., and then that makes it more prolific. And it's
Yeah. The last point I'll say
Yeah.
on this, and then we'll move on to the next person's highlight of the podcast, was Nikita mentioning the half an hour that we had where they got rid of bunny hops and inertia movement. Literally all speed hacks went out the window. I don't know if you've ever dealt with because they're quite common in labs. If you ever hear a speed cheater, you'll hear jump spamming, and it's basically them exploiting the bunny hop mechanic. So I'm not saying it's a complete fix. They'll find a new way around it afterwards. I was speaking to this last night and some guys in the Discord call. Once bunny hop's gone, the current speed hacks are going to be out the window, but they will find a new one. 100% they'll find a new one. That's just how cheats are. You know, they
It was doing.
find loopholes. But you're saying for that small window that we had no bunny hop in, all speed cheaters went out the window. So that's an interesting insight of how exploits are found. Not saying that's the reason they're getting rid of bunny hopping. They've always talked about getting rid of it because of slower movement, and they preferred that way of, you know, Tarkov movement. But it's just another little insight on how these things are exploited.
Talking about cheats, Nikita talked about them during the podcast. And you know, he said that they've banned 300,000 cheaters or 300,000 accounts in the last sort of 6 months or so, which is incredible considering that is around about what the concurrent player base was for such a long time. You know, and he said that you should see less cheaters, and I'm going to be entirely honest. I don't play labs, and because I don't play labs, I actually haven't encountered a cheater, not an obvious cheater, in weeks, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing the results, which is a really good thing because go a couple months back and
I'd say I take down those numbers with a pinch of salt. They're probably accurate, but a lot of them are going to be this. I guarantee that there are guys out there who've got accounts in the hundreds. There's one prolific cheater that we keep running across, and me personally, I've reported about 14, 15 of his accounts that have been banned. Same guy who streams on Twitch as well while cheating. It's just same guy comes back, new account, day after day. So again, 300,000 people. Accounts is the right word. You said that it's 300,000 accounts, but one guy might have 1,000 accounts in that. Yeah, it's always been a problem. It's always going to be a problem, and there's dips and troughs. Right now, we're in one of those troughs of it being relatively clean. I'm not saying it's completely clean. I'm not that I haven't got the blinkers on completely. But it's been a lot worse than it is right now for sure.
Yeah, I had one today as well on Shoreline though. So that was weird. Well, I'm pretty sure anyway. Like it was like you know when like there's a fight we just like that's not right.
Yeah,
it just doesn't feel right. There's no way. So yeah, like it's I think it's best just to report it, and then if it you know if it isn't right, then it gets stung. If it is okay, then it's whatever. You know.
That's one thing I want to highlight as well. People don't realize the importance of reporting cheaters and bug reports. Please do bug reports. It doesn't matter if it's a game crash, even like a weird stutter, or just constantly doing bug reports is how the game's going to improve. And he even talked about it when they're having the TES, the test branch.
Yeah,
that's not going to be. It's not just going to be handed to streamers because they've got 50,000 hours in the game. It's going to be to people who are doing bug reports. They're going to be trusted members of the community who are testing stuff, doing bug reports, and trying to improve the game. It's not just going to be handed to such and such guy because he's got a voice in the community, which is an interesting insight, and I'm glad, and that's why I encourage everyone, as tedious as it can be, keep doing your bug reports, and that helps. Even if it's something that a lot of people that I speak to are like, it's been in the game for 3 years, that bug. They know about it. Why should I do a bug report? Every single time there's a bug that is repeatable, every time a bug report's done, they've got new information to go on. And that's how the game will improve.
Also priorities as well. You know, like the bug team will have an incredible amount of bugs to work on. And by nature of just the way that these things work, they will always prioritize working on the bugs that have got the most numbers of reports. Right?
Yeah.
If a bug has been reported 3,000 times, they'll be like, right, okay, let's get this one fixed. Even if it was a bug that was around from three years ago and they know about it,
Yeah.
if suddenly a massive influx of reports comes in about it, they will focus their attention on it, because that's just sort of like the way that they like process their business.
I think part of the problem is that is how tedious it is to close out the game and do a bug report in the launcher. If it was just literally, I had this stutter in this raid, send the logs. I understand that it's very tedious, but I implore everyone. I'm guilty of it. I probably do less now. I used to be constantly on it, and it would kill the flow momentum of this game, because, like I said, even away from battles, this game is about momentum, and your mood can swing if you have a bad raid and you dwell on it too much. Sometimes I do like to break down after a raid and be like, frame by frame, which shots did I miss, which did I hit? But sometimes it's just like, let's kit up and go again. But that having to quit out the game, go into and type out a bug report is definitely tedious, but do it as much as you can when you can. I implore people to do it. So going back, Matt, what was your highlight of the DevBlog podcast there?
It's got to be the heavy blood loss.
Yes.
It's so great.
I'm really looking forward to that because of my ratty ways. If I can just hit someone with like a single stomach shot kind of thing, I know Walker likes the Vepra Hunter. If you go and shoot someone with an M80 and they just scuttle off somewhere to go med up, I want to be able to follow that blood trail to find them. And the amount of times I've shot somebody and I can't find their body, and I then leave the raid, it's like, oh, I killed him. I would love to be able to follow that blood trail, and it's like, oh look, there's a dead guy here.
I'm gonna say, I think it's neat, but if you head eyes people, they won't be walking off. You know what I mean? Like without sounding like an asshole. Like I just feel
shoot
like
in the head and headshot them.
John Wick over here.
I don't have a scenario where someone's legged it. Usually people turn around and smoke me. So I'd love to see it been applied properly. It'd be good for like the machinima kind of films and stuff. You'd be able to like set scenes up by poke someone with a stick and have them walk around to fill the room with blood or something. It's cool. But I don't know. I can't say personally that I'm even gonna notice that exists. You know what I mean?
There might be times though. I can picture it. Honestly, I can picture it in, say, Shoreline. You hit somebody. How many times have you shot somebody and you're like, they've ran off? Which way do they go? Do they jump a balcony? Do they go top floor? Do they go bottom floor? Yeah. Following that blood trail to the stairs and seeing them going up or down if they haven't had the chance to heal yet. Because either they're going to stop and heal, or they're just going to run off and heal somewhere when they're in cover. Seeing that, if it works properly, that's exciting stuff, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
It is. For sure.
One of the main things with it, which I like the most, with them bringing in the more like mandatory meds you need to take with you, it's making it more, rather than people using their gammas and like so on for like just hoarding like loose ammo and that, they're going to prioritize having to take meds with them rather than like extra ammo. So they're actually going to have to worry about the shots they take, that they're not going to have like, I don't know, 120 rounds kind of thing just sat there ready to repack a mag.
Yeah,
I mean, like to be fair,
good.
Yeah, I feel like the sort of the gamma cap is just like a glorified med container, basically. Like,
yeah,
that's what it is at the moment. So I suppose it'll just keep being that way. I suppose I guess just even more so. Yeah, I mean, well, didn't they say they were going to add like a stim pouch, not in 12.8, but like later on? So I mean, like a stim pouch would be like a one slot that will fit like maybe we'll have like 4 or 6 slots or something like it. So you can put that in your container, which then would leave more space for the meds that have come into 12.8.
I definitely find myself
issue with that is if you had some little rat bastard running around with like 4 of them in a secure container, you know.
I'm just thinking labs honestly, like
sticking them all.
You open up Sturman's room and literally 15 stims minimum in that one room. 200
and they're gammed. They're they're not.
That's true.
Unless they make it some sort of one-way thing. I also think if you much later down the line, if you're using stuff like meds, if you're one of those players that are, using your secure container to carry all your meds, so like it happens early wipe all the time, you be rummaging around trying to kill people to try to get, shit, this guy's level 14, maybe he has a solo kit on him, and he's got it all up as, prison wallet. I feel like to use stuff in your secure container or to put things in or take it out, there's got to be some sort of animation, like not like every single item needs to be rendered out. Like, here's a LEDX going in the box, closing the box, just box open. You don't see what happens, but something happens.
Yeah, like
into
how
the
the
heal
heal animation is
animation.
just a bandage wrap, something along those
Just
lines
like
of an
takes it out
unzip.
of his ass, like, all right, yeah, there we go. Up with the
Just an unzipping.
With some sort of extra animation before you want to use your solo kit, that's fine, but you have to do like, something as tedious as like how, when you open the Vaseline or something, it's just some shitty animation of opening a box.
That was one
to
of
slow it down.
the questions I gave to Dimitri before the podcast. It didn't get asked or addressed. Are we going to see a second attempt to exit only container? Because we had it a pre-wipe event 2 wipes ago. I liked it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I want more of that. I want exit only container forever. I'd loved it. Absolutely loved
That'd be
it.
nice.
Exit only, as in.
So you could take.
You can only take stuff out.
You could take your extra mags, meds, and everything in there, right?
Oh,
but if you found a LEDX,
okay.
you're not putting that in your container.
I have one issue with that,
Mm.
and it might be a stupid issue, because I kind of like farm the dog tags and stuff.
Yeah,
I'd like to be able to put the dog
Yeah,
tags in there.
do
I'll
you know
be
what?
honest.
Honestly, I'd say dog tags and keys. Let them be stuffed up there. Everything else, exit only.
I don't necessarily think even keys. One thing I'd like to see with the dog tags thing is that if you've double clicked someone's dog tag and pulled their information up in raid, and then you die and it's not in your gamma, and then suddenly all of the information about the kill is lost at the end. If you double click it, I'd love for it to like memorize the name.
Maybe have like a QR code on there. Just scan it. You're like, yeah.
Well, even if you even if you picked it up. Even if you picked it up, like you've had that in your possession, which means you've gone to get the kill. You've gone to loot the kill, which means you have that.
You're just trying to get 2 extra points. I get it. Don't worry about it.
Well, then points, boy.
But
the
I think
case is something.
Yeah. I was just gonna say Trip's gonna be in his element, because this new hemostatics thing and the fact that we are going to be required, because first aid kits aren't going to have hemostatic attributes, or at least not to start with. We're going to have to bring hemostatic kits with us, which is essentially what Trip's army bandage thing is.
Yeah.
We're going to have this fast access hemostatic kit where if we get a heavy bleed, we need to be slapping ourselves up with that hemostatic as quick as possible. Otherwise, we will just bleed to death very quickly, which I think is really cool.
Can I just put something in print officially that the army bandage meta isn't a meme anymore? 100% it's not a meme. Like, if you guys, honestly, like half of those gunfights you got into in Interchange and Shoreline, if you had an army bandage in there, you'd be done in an animation under a second, and you put the pressure back on the guy. Because there's so many times you get lit up, you'd have to back off, heal, repack, and you'd lose track of the guy, and you give the other guy a chance to heal. There's so many times, like I've only from my own personal experience of gunfights, where it's a 3-man or a 2-man, and you kill one, the other one lights you up, you army bandage, and you stay on them. You keep pushing forward, and you just win the fight. It's crazy how it works, and then you repack and do a full heal once all the smoke's cleared. It works. It's crazy, and everyone at least give it a chance.
I've
Honestly,
never used
it's
it.
crazy.
I will.
No,
I will.
Give it a go. It's crazy.
It's not something I've heard of before.
Yeah, army bandage. You still
bandage.
carry your painkillers. You still pre-pain. You still have an IFAC Salewa, but you heal once you're good to go. Unless obviously your thorax is nearly blacked or something. But just to stop a bleed mid gunfight, it just helps. You gain like even though it feels like a few seconds, it's probably milliseconds.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it just keeps the pressure on in a gunfight. It works so many times.
I think obviously, I completely, after watching the VOD back, I was converted. I wasn't converted up until I watched the VOD back of Thursday night.
Did you watch the VOD of Evasion or your own VOD?
No, the Evasion VOD.
Yeah, because I was screaming at every single gunfight
all the time.
I was like, 3 bleeds, army bandage, where's it at?
Yeah. The thing is, I think bandages in general are gonna not be much of a thing when this new blood loss patch comes in, especially considering we're gonna have hemostatic injections, hemostatic pads, and stuff like that. So, like, if you get 3 bleeds, you just hit yourself with a new stim, and it stops all of your bleeds, clots your blood up. And you push on, right? And it's like an army bandage. It's just an army bandage in stim form.
I think the way I saw it, right, when he got a heavy bleed, he probably could change it. It would probably mean you've seen it wrong. When he did an IFAC or Salewa, it stopped the bleed temporarily.
So it makes a light bleed, a heavy bleed, a light bleed if
Right.
you just bandage it. If you want like heavy bleeds to stop them completely, you have to apply some sort of hemostatic syringe
So
or
I think
hemostatic pack.
I think the hemostatic stuff is going to be like therapist level 4. It's something that once we're level 40s and kitted, that's when we're going to have that stuff. I think up until that point, we're going to be dealing with
The
our
other one.
shit tier stuff to deal with a heavy bleed in like 2 tiers. You won't be able to sort out a heavy bleed right off the bat because we're going to have shit bandages and shit med kits. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like a bit like the
other one.
alley
Yeah,
splint.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where the alley splint is kind of like a late game kind of thing. Although it's not like a big game changer, but having a multi-use splint, that's how I saw it, honestly.
It's a big. They added there was 2, right? The hemostatic thing is like 3 use or 5 use or something.
So
and then
there
the
was
other
like
one,
there's a tourniquet, and then there was like
Yeah.
an injector thing that causes a clot.
they effectively do the same thing. So
Yeah,
one's
stop a
the
heavy bleed,
improved
basically.
version of
Mhm.
the other one. My biggest issue of the podcast was with my favorite thing that was announced. And my favorite thing that was announced was the quick drop of bike packs.
Oh yeah.
My
Oh,
issue with it
yes.
is it looks like you just fucking yeet your backpack. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be but it's gonna be like Halo flag capture,
Yeah.
flag dropped because
Mm,
you throw the backpack. If you see the clip, like
Yeah.
you throw it a few meters.
Yeah.
So
I'm
why would I walk with a bag if I can just quickly, mouse scroll down, take, throw, mouse scroll down, like you can just repeat the animation,
I'm hoping I'm hopeful here, right? I could be completely wrong. I'm hoping that the ragdoll of the bag is dependent on the weight in there.
Yeah,
Because
I hope so.
immediately,
I
what
hope
do you know?
so.
What I thought there? Immediately, my mind went to reserve or labs, 80 kilos, spamming it to get out.
Yeah.
That's where my mind went. Although initially it was like middle of a gunfight, drop it, and then fight, and then
Yeah.
pick it back up again. Immediately, my mind went to what if that bag's 100 kilos? Can I just spam that animation, spin round? Because he like at one point threw it in front of him, one point threw it behind him. Do you know what I mean? It was like hopefully it's like a random direction, so you can't pick and choose.
I just
don't know.
don't understand it because you've got the gun and he's just throwing it.
I
it
thought
should-
it was just
It's
more
almost
of a
like it's on
release
Velcro,
strap.
right? You just like pull it
Yeah.
off with Velcro.
There should.
I thought
it should just be a drop at the feet. Yeah, it should be
Yeah.
like a quick release or something where it's like it's just dropping at your feet, not like a frisbee animation where he's just like, ooh.
You're gonna have
There it goes.
people like 2 teammates pinned behind pillars throwing bags to each other. I got any ammo? Yeah, hang on.
Just yeet.
Yeah, a Battlefield 5 ammo crate just getting dropped and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the thing is that Tarkov hasn't implemented gunslings properly, right? It talks
Yeah.
about things being on slings, but they aren't implemented yet. And if anyone I know carried a rifle sling and won a backpack at the same time, you have to take them both off. Well, you have to literally unsling the backpack because the way that the rifle sling is, and you want it to be able to move around your body and to a ready position, it can't be trapped under the backpack. So you can't put the rifle on and then the backpack on over top. You have to put the backpack on first and then put the rifle on. Which means in real life, in order to sling your backpack on the ground, you'd have to unsling your rifle and then like take your backpack off and then sling your rifle back on. So like at the moment with sling mechanics not actually being a proper thing yet, I mean, I guess it's fine. But I know that they planned to, like, I know Nikita said before about the fact that he wants to actually have proper slings so that you can just like free drop your rifle at you, like to drop in front of you and still be on your body. As a quick switch sort of thing, being able to just drop the rifle in your hands and pick up and take the other rifle or take the other pistol or whatever. But yeah, that's just a realism thing.
Yeah, I don't get that. I agree with you, Walker, there in terms of it being chucked. Yeah, hopefully, I can see that being a thing where, with community feedback in a calm manner, not reading on Twitter, please, in a calm manner, we can probably get that. Probably,
I
they can
can't
tweet
wait till I duo with someone and I throw the backpack over a wall.
Yeah,
They just piss me off. Throw the shit over a wall.
yeah,
Gonna be
you've got
glorious.
something to look forward to. Then.
I can just
You know in
imagine now.
CS:GO, I was gonna say, you know, in CS:GO when people like are trying to like flash pot people, but with their pistol, because they just want to throw an object out. You imagine in Tarkov, like you're holding an angle, and this guy just launches his backpack out and then peeks right after it. Because the guy's like,
that's day one Reddit right there.
Imagine if it had the ragdoll of a player as well. Do you know there's a spot on woods, right? When you're approaching from UN side and you're at the car with the blood sample, there's a rock, right? I'll point it out next time. There's a rock that last wipe, everybody with a thermal M1A used to sit on that rock, because if you get headshot, your body's rolling into the water, you can't get looted, you're getting your shit back on insurance.
Right.
What if in the middle of a gunfight, you've got a bag full of shit, you just stuff all your stuff in the bag and then just throw it into the water so it can't be looted? What if?
Yeah. Play water side. Oh, there goes both legs of my arm. No
Yeah.
problem. Fuck. See you later.
Stand on the bridge in customs and just throw it over the edge and put it in the water.
I think,
put invisible walls in on a lot of those places. I know, like on Shoreline, you used to be able to, like, I remember when I first started playing on Shoreline, you used to be able to just walk up to the shore and just hit delete key, looking out over to the ocean, and everything would just fly out, drop in the ocean. It was never retrievable.
There are spots on woods where I've had
walls there now.
Woods still, though that side body still unintentionally middle of gunfight, it'll just roll into the water and unlootable.
Two things.
Go on.
I think it's about the same thing. Insurance, I think, shouldn't work if you survive the raid. And I think if you throw things out of bounds, the insurance shouldn't be like void on them. So if you do throw your shit in the water and it's unretrievable, because I even for example, right, let's say I kill a player, and this is how petty I'm about to be. If I killed you and you've fallen into water, you know, the little wooden bridge crossing like customs, the amount of times I kill people and the body goes into water, I want them not to get that stuff back. Second of all, if you die and I throw your shit into water, you shouldn't be getting that back.
Well, I mean, like, think of it as like, sorry, Karen, actually, go on, sorry.
Oh, no, the other one was people, insurance fraud. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but if I were to make a change to it, this would be my change, and it would be that if you survive a raid, and you know, that raid mark survived, but you've dropped your M4 because you wanted to, you know, squeeze an extra bit of loot out, I think your M4 shouldn't come back.
I think, like, I mean, if you think about it, like, because, you know, for the insurance, Prapor and his goons are going to go get it. So think of it like, as in, like, Prapor and his goons can't get it, you know, same as the PMC. So it didn't come back, right? That should be a thing, right? So they can't go out of bounds, you know, over the wall or in the water. So that just doesn't, you know, it doesn't come back to you because they can't get it, right? Technically.
The survive aspect is an interesting one, because insurance fraud, I don't say early game, even late game, it's always a thing, right?
Yeah.
If my slick's zeroed, I'm going to pick up somebody's gazelle. Do you know what I mean? And I'll get that slick back, and it lets me min max to the max. Interesting idea. I'll need to think on that one, whether I agree or disagree. It'll be an interesting change for sure.
It's definitely a debate kind of thing. Like, I didn't expect me to say that and everyone be like, okay. I thought someone would be like, you know, hold on a minute.
I'm not dead against it, but at the same time, I don't see it as a big problem.
If everyone's barking on about making the game harder, I think insurance is an easily exploitable thing, and especially like the more experienced players who's playing multi-wipes are more in tune with it. You know, they know how it works. Either that, or I think if an item comes back to you multiple times with insurance, you got to start paying a premium on it. Like, you get the slick back once, okay, you insure it the second time, it's 10% more expensive than it was the first time.
And that would make sense in real life as well, right? Like, you know, if you get stuff back on, you know, you know, like you what is it with car insurance? What's the thing? Like, it's
no claims discount.
Yeah, exactly, right. So if you haven't claimed an insurance back or whatever, you know, you haven't got insurance back, you don't pay as much. But obviously that goes the opposite way, where if you know, got loads, you pay a premium because
you get
more prone to accidents, right?
Yeah,
exactly, right. So but then again, I suppose it helps out the newer players as well, you know, because they can't afford. You know,
do you know what I'd like to see with insurance? Because I sit in the middle. I don't mind insurance, but I don't want to get rid of it. How about just a bit of RNG? If you lose a full kit, you might get a slick back. You might get a M4 back. You might get your M4 back missing all the attachments or something along those lines. I don't know.
That happens anyway when I build my guns. always like, my immediate reaction on stream is like, "Why? Who the fuck took my stock?"
Yeah.
And then I realized after stream, I'm like, "Oh, I forgot. I changed the stock out afterwards."
Yeah. And
And
you
chat's
didn't
trying to
reinsure
tell
it.
me like, "Oh no, Walker, you didn't insure that." And be like, "Shut up! No, I did. I did. I swear." Then be kicking myself afterwards.
Yeah. That's an interesting one for sure. Um,
Yeah.
I think eventually you'll get to the point if it like, and I'll be looking at my AS file, I'll be like, okay, it's going to cost me near enough the same amount to buy a new one. So I might as well not insure it again, right?
Yeah. Like yeah. If you use the same one multiple times, I suppose if you get it back and then use it again, get it back, use it again, then after time, I guess maybe but then that would mean that they like that individual gun would have to have an identity or something like that, so you can the game knows it's that AS file that you've used every time. Yeah.
What about yourself then, Hayes? Any highlights that haven't been covered from the DevBlog podcast? Yeah, the heavy bleed, the backpack drop.
Hayes is just really excited about the PUBG helmet.
Yeah, that's it. No. I mean,
first thing I thought.
I'm surprised about like what is it? That they're making a helmet that's better than the Alton.
Yeah,
apparently it's better. Like
he didn't actually. At no point did he double click on it and show the actual stats on it, which that was a bit of a tease. I'm guessing
is that it's 5 more points of durability. It's 95.
Do you reckon its visor's better, as in
I'm
visually
guessing
better to see more?
I don't think so.
Could be like bigger, like as in like instead of I don't know. I mean, it could be like different material, like level 6 something visor.
Maybe it repairs better or something. I don't know.
It says maybe
repairs pretty well anyway though. Like the Alton repairs really well. I mean,
it just doesn't have any class written on the notes.
No, he didn't. At no point he didn't double click on it and show what armor class it was. Yeah.
Oh no,
that's interesting.
He just said it was Titan.
Titan is the armor class.
Material,
material even.
Interesting that Kurt says in the chat they were teasing an Alton headset, weren't they, at some point? Or
Thing is, though,
I mean, maybe that's what it is then. I don't know. Like it's got a built-in headset inside of it that's not as good, but it does it does a job.
I was always told at the time, it could be a misconception or me having wrong information. At the time they teased that Alton with the headset thing, I was always told that was like a replica thing, like an airsoft helmet, where it would be like almost like the Keck Fast Slow MT, where it was like a level 2 helmet that had contacts in it, but it was like an Alton in a way with a face shield. I don't know.
So
I could be wrong.
Like based on real life equipment, which to be fair, Tarkov 99% of the time do base all of their stuff off of real life equipment. There is a new modern day Alton used by the Russian Spetsnaz that has contacts built into it. But I think it sacrifices protection on those areas.
Makes
sense. It is.
So because the armor's thinner, because of there being the contact stuff in them. Like that, there's like circles in the side of the helmet just here that have like less protection, but it has contacts. But then the rest of the helmet is still just as protective,
It's like sort of like level 3 or level 2, sort of whatever, like on the ears, and then like the rest is obviously 5 or something like that one. Yeah. And then you get contacts. That I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I'd probably use that over the Alton actually.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to see it, I'd hate for something just to become everyone's go-to meta thing. Like I'd really love like an Alton with contacts with high, high Dura, high armor level. But I mean, saying that though, like I always keep saying that high price isn't a way to balance stuff. But with the slick, it's kind of worked. Like last wipe, everybody was running slick, and now they bumped the price up. You see it once a day, maybe if you could run labs, maybe more if you run other maps. So maybe price is a way to balance, because even again with the reaps, last wipe, everyone was a reap user. Now you hardly ever see it, and it's because of the limited availability of it, I think.
But the price has come back down this wipe, and I think the main reason that people aren't using it more is just because they nerfed the shit out of it again at the end of last wipe.
I guess.
So because obviously there was a period of time where they buffed Reapers inadvertently. Apparently, they said it was an accident. That was the glory days. Because I'll be entirely honest with you, from having used thermals in real life, like the Reaps when they accidentally buffed them, were the closest to real, like the closest to what Reapers were. Like are in real life.
That's what Pest said.
Was what they
like
were.
He was talking about it as well. He was like saying, like a thermal scope in real life, you can literally see kilometers with them. And he's like, if you can only see 200 meters with a Reap IR, you might as well take it out of the game, because it's not. It's like it's that whole realism versus a game thing. But you don't want an item in the game which is imitating real life, not acting as it does in real life. Do you know what I mean? There's no point of it being in the game, but at the same time, you do want balancing. So it's that back and
Pricing's
forth.
an interesting thing
Mm.
too. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like the GPMVGs that we have in game at the moment, they cost what? About 200k, I think. To buy from
150
traders.
to 170. Yeah, yeah,
150,
like
yeah.
175, something like that. Yeah.
In real life, that's a 25 to 30,000 US dollar head like piece of equipment. You know, and that's just the GPMVGs. Thermals are significantly more money than that for military level equipment. You know, so I get it. Like the thermals in the game aren't as good, but they also are a fraction of their actual genuine cost. But yeah, like yeah, the thermals that I used when I was filming out on Salisbury Plain saw 5 miles easily 5 miles.
Wild.
So 200 meters feels like crap.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like they're overpowered IRL, I suppose, right? Technically, you know, they're just meant to, you know, they're built to be that. But then, you know, obviously the cost is insane, as you said, right? So, I think, like, I mean, if they try and balance the economy, or, like, you know, just make it so that it's harder to earn money, or, like, at least harder to kind of, you know, get into the 100 millions, then I think that would sort of make sense. Because, like, I mean, I like people have like unexpendable, like sort of unlimited resources in a sense right now. So I don't know. It's like they could have run, like, you know, slick thermals the whole, like, you know, for the rest of the wipe essentially, and be fine.
What was everyone's opinion? Just moving away from a different point there. So the compass having the bearings in the bottom right. Something for me, I didn't like it
yes.
for some reason. Although
Right.
I liked it and didn't like it. All right, I'll tell you, like, Tarkov works well when you're not given information on the screen. Like, that's why I don't like.
Minimalistic.
Yeah,
kinda.
like removing the HUD, things like that. Not knowing how many ammos are in your mag without checking it.
Yeah.
I think
To a
the
certain
issue
degree
is-
as well. Sorry to cut you off again, Sly Walker.
Oh, no,
To
sorry,
a certain degree, I would want like weapon zeroing to be taken off the screen as well. You have to physically check the dial on the top of the scope to see the. Do you know what I mean? I'd love that, but the fact that the bearing is just plonked in the bottom right just felt like, I don't know, very Armor 2, very Armor 3, very PUBG-ish. I don't know. That was
Yeah.
just
You
me
know
though.
what?
yeah,
sure.
I think they'd have to stray away from the bottom right altogether. I mean, we're checking our firing mode and it just comes up like, I'm not looking what his hand's doing. If he's flicking it, you know, I'm just saying, okay, it's full auto, fine. I think if it's more, in my opinion, it's something like everything or nothing. I think it's fine. I'm not actually going to look at the. I was trying to look at the compass when he was showing it, when he was walking around looking at it. I was like, hey, fuck that. And then the numbers came up in the corner. So I was like, you know, all right, fair enough. But what I'm worried about is they said later they'll be coming with GPS. And if they're coming with GPS, am I going to be able to examine it properly? Second of all, am I going to be able to see my teammates? Am I going to be able to link up my teammates? And then all of a sudden it's like Call of Duty where I see his arrow, and we all split up to different parts of the map.
That's why I was worried. That's why I was
UAV.
worried when he said GPS. I really do hope it's not an on-screen thing. I hope it's a thing you have to physically look down at. If it's an
Yeah, for
on-screen
sure.
thing,
But
Yeah,
I mean,
I doubt it'll be
it could.
on screen.
Yeah.
But even still looking down, if I'm in a raid with Timo, Hayes, and Matt, and we're all linked up, I hope we can't link up. I look
Yeah,
at my
for sure,
GPS
yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I'm in dorms, Timo's in construction with Hayes, and Matt's dead in a bush over there. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
That's about right.
I
So
like it
two
to be
people's
just
dead
sort of,
bodies.
yeah.
like
I,
a couple of things. GPS in terms of being on screen, I wouldn't mind it being on screen if it was just your 6-point coordinate. If it was your lat long.
no, I mean a physical like like Armor 2, Armor 3, where it's in the bottom right corner, a little GPS screen with the map.
Okay, yeah, no.
Like a TomTom, like a TomTom in the bottom right corner.
However, what I would love is if they actually gave a use for the Ronin. So I don't know if you guys know, but in real life, the Ronin
Oh, it has
a
like
headset
on-screen
display
HUD and
inside
shit
it.
like that. It's basically
Yeah.
Google Glass.
Yeah, and you can connect other instruments to it, such as GPSs, such as friend or foe indicators, and
On-screen
and
crosshairs?
compasses and
Question
stuff.
mark.
But the one of the greatest things about it is the friend or foe indicators. If someone is carrying a friend or foe indicator set to a specific frequency, and the bit of equipment inside your Ronin is set up to understand them, then you would actually be able to just look. And if you looked in the general direction of one of your friends that had a friend or foe indicator on them, it would actually give their call sign hovering above where their friend or foe indicator was in real life. And that's a real life genuine thing that exists.
That's cool.
And
That's
I
pretty cool.
feel like with the compass and the GPS and all of this sort of things, I'd love if it wasn't on screen and you did have to check it, but then you spent all this money on this really crap protective helmet, but you actually got this heads up display part of it, and you could actually see where your teammates were. And it's not perfect. It's not like you look over in their direction.
Yeah, it's
and
not
it comes up
ESP.
saying, Hayes, 400 meters, blah blah blah, etc.
Like
But
DayZ
you will
markers.
literally see, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But it will give you it'll give you a general idea of where they are, and especially if you're in CQB and someone comes around the corner, you will literally just see like their call sign. So if I'm playing with Hayes, you just see Hayes, just like the name Hayes, just appear out of this corner and then start going down a hallway sort of thing. And that would be really cool.
That'd be neat.
The
Yeah,
trade-off is that the Ronin sucks.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't wear
yeah.
helmets anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could get behind that.
I think it would be
It's one
kind
of
of
those
cool.
things. Yeah.
Like if you, I don't know, just running along kind of thing, and if you haven't looked at it in a while, it just be kind of. I think it'd be kind of cool if you're like, oh, I've just lost it. It's like my GPS is like falling off of me and it is gone somewhere.
I
So
bet you
it's
could
just-
randomly lose it.
Just randomly drop a
yeah,
sick case,
just randomly just
like
pulls off you. Yeah.
Like when
you
you used to go to labs and someone would stick their fingers in your container or steal
Yeah,
your
like
raw ore.
Yeah, a bit like when I've lost those stick cases like those couple times.
What happened there? Someone mentioned that you nearly lost a sick case during the battles. What was that about?
All right, so whilst we were on Shoreline, I was trying to pick up an item. No, it wasn't Shoreline. It was Interchange.
I mean,
was trying to pick up the car med
10
kit.
points over a sick case. I do
I was trying
respect
to
the
pick up the car
dedication
med
there.
kit, and I went to go just throw an item. It was my CMS kit out of my kappa, and I just misclicked and I hit my sick case. I picked up the car med kit, and I was like, and then my sick case got stuck inside of my CMS kit,
Oh
and
my
I was
god!
like, just throwing all this stuff around, and it's like, if somebody kills me right now, I've lost the item and I've lost my sick case, and I was just infuriated by it.
That's crazy.
And I
Gross.
went back through the VOD, and I was like, thank God I wasn't on the big screen when this happened.
Yeah.
Uh,
God. I
'Cause
wish
even
you
more-
were, man.
About this, I just mentioned it to no one.
Yeah, I'd have kept that.
It's fine. No one's watching. No one's gonna know about it.
yeah, it's fine.
The new gun,
Mm,
the Caltech RFB.
mm.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
super excited for this. I'm a massive fan of bullpups anyway. I think they're just aesthetically beautiful. They're functionally incredibly good, like pieces of weapon gear, and it's going to be 7.62 by 5.1. It's gonna run the same sort of size mags as like the RSAS and the MDR 308, but it's going to be cheap.
I
And as we
didn't
know-
realize until that day that it's a single fire gun. I thought it was a full auto.
Mhm.
I never.
It's a civilian. It's a civilian. Basically, it's going to be a Vepr hunter with a 20-round mag. It's not going to cost that much because they're saying it's cheaper than the FAL, and you can pick up a FAL for 70k.
Yeah.
Off of traders. So it's going to be cheaper than a FAL. So it's not going to be much more than a Vepr hunter, but it's going to have a 20-round mag, and its ergo, its recoil, everything is going to be far superior to a Vepr hunter.
I wanted to see Nikita's mate's trigger finger and see if it's spammable, like if it's had no recoil like an M1A, or if it was like Vep Hunter kind of bounced to it. I wanted to see him spam and see, but he wasn't gaming that lad.
That's right. Just jump
Yeah.
into Ghost Freak's chat once the patch releases. He'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll drop 20 rounds in half a second.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it, and it it should be. We've had some guns like the MDR and other bullpups that have been not really customizable at all. You can put an optic on top of them, you can change the foregrip, add a flashlight, maybe put a suppressor on the barrel. That's it, right? The RFB, like, it's designed to be a quad rail thing. We should get like multiple handguards for it. We should get all sorts of different attachments and bits and pieces for it. So that is really exciting.
Okay. I didn't know anything about the gun. Honestly,
Yeah, all I knew
it
it was basically
like 12.
yeah, basically all I knew it was a single fire 308 MDR. That's what I saw. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
Maybe a bit more moddable in terms of the handguard, like Tim said.
We get
True,
2 new
yeah.
helmets.
Yeah, two new
Yes.
helmets. One
Yeah.
looks like a airframe-esque, but being able
Mhm.
to wear mandible with a
and the
visor.
jaw.
I like it.
Mhm.
I'm always
And then the kind of, to me, what looked like killer's armor in black, class 5.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
that.
like a defender because it was also armor steel, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a class 5 slick, essentially,
Yeah.
is what it is.
With stomach cover, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's a bit very close
and-
to the defender, really. Yeah.
I'd love if they actually implemented it soon, but it's got
Yeah.
neck armor, and I'd love, because at the moment when you get shot like there,
It's
you
thorax,
just
isn't
die
it?
to head jaws.
Oh, really? I thought
Well,
it was thorax.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's either or. It depends on the day.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
depends on
Don't-
the RNG of the
Don't really know,
server.
do you? I suppose you can't really
Mm.
tell.
But I'd love, like, the thing is that the way that armor is designed is that your chin should be behind the top of that lip.
Mm.
Which should mean it should protect your your head, jaws.
The
area.
killer
thing
armor
is,
is very similar to that, isn't it? Really, in that design.
it is.
Yeah, because that's got the plate, like the
Like
things
collar.
around it
Yeah,
as well. Yeah, collar. Yeah.
Interesting.
So those collars they're not armor plated, if that makes sense.
Mm.
They're a soft armor, but they're what's called an entrapment armor, which means that their job, and that's the reason why they're flappy and they're away from your body, is because their job is to catch the bullet, entrap it up in a bunch of cotton and Kevlar and other fabric, and then yes, you will take a hit like to your collarbone or something, or to your neck from that bullet, but it will be at a significantly slower rate, and it's not going to penetrate into your. It might wind you, it might like knock your windpipe a bit, but it's not gonna like penetrate through, because the soft arm has actually caught the bullet.
That's the thing.
but-
I don't think they would like. I don't know if they've ever like spoken about mixing the hitboxes in materials of armors, because obviously these armors have different levels of protection in different parts of the body. Like everyone always talks about the underarm thing on the slicks. Like your everything on your side of your body's all exposed, right? Your ribs and everything. It's just basically a plate in the back and front. If you get shot in the armpit, it still counts as a thorax, and it's still your slick's going to tank it. It'll be interesting to see if they do change these hitboxes and the mixed materials, like some of the armors that are wrapped around you, for mobility under where your kidneys are and shit. It's a bit softer. But I
Hope
don't
the
know.
armors come down in price then. Like slicks are stupid expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, someone was just saying,
I mean-
750k if you want to buy it on the market. Even the barter trade, the
It's
Cordura is
mad.
like 80k at the minute, and you need 6 of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. I don't understand it. I think for me, it's easier to just run class 4 and simply don't get shot at when fighting someone.
Mm.
I just prefer those odds. Like, why take a heads up fight with someone wearing a slick alt and just position yourself and take your chances that way? Shoot them in the back, you know.
To be fair,
that
the week after battles, because that's when I had like 20 slicks for battles. I had them, and I've still got leftovers, and I'm still running every now and then. When I do run it, like that interchange run where I got like 8 PMCs and my slick was down to 13 health, I survived 3 separate gunfights over and over where I knew if I was wearing class 5, if I was wearing a Tat-Tech, I'd be dead after the second gunfight. But my slick just kept tanking, and I was getting my limbs and stomach blacked, and I went through 8 uses of a serve kit. It was crazy, but like I knew in the back of my mind the slick saved me there, and it's like the 1 in 10 chances that happens, it makes it feel like it's money well spent. But other times it's just like, nah.
I rage sold all my stuff from the battles.
I noticed. How much did
Ragnan?
Ragnar take for a slick?
He bought 6 of them for 1.3.
Worth
it, yeah. Fuck, screw that. I ain't gonna wear them. I ain't gonna comfortably go into a raid with a slick and a 5.7. I'll tell you that now. I'm stupid, but not that. You know, I'd rather use the class 4.
I
don't know.
just can't. I can't use class 4 and just find myself getting melted by BT. I'm good.
Yeah.
Nah, dude.
That's, whenever I run I mean, I think that's mostly because we run Shoreline, right, Hayes?
Yeah.
Which means that like 99% of our battles are against full auto weapons.
Yeah, in
And
close.
level 4 armor does nothing against full
Yeah.
auto weapons.
It's
Like,
like
you
even
you can run crap ammo and you'll break through that armor at a rate of knots anyway. You know, it's
someone's gonna run like a budget AK MPS ammo, like if they have the AKM scab kills, right, as well, they do that, like they'll still bust through my level 4, so I run level 5 all the time. I don't go below that at all. Yeah.
SR25 new handguard.
Look nice. It looks like a short
that's-
barrel thing though, doesn't it? Maybe there's gonna be one. I hope there's the one for the long barrel as well.
It's a 12.5-inch handguard. But honestly, for me, the thing that screams, which is something that the SR25 has violently needed ever since it released, is the opportunity to make it a really high ergo weapon.
Because it's carbon fiber, isn't
Yeah.
it? It looked lightweight,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Like that handguard.
It had
with
plus
the
10
mods
ergo.
that
I
you can
remember
do
this.
with it.
Plus
Yeah,
10
yeah.
ergo minus plus 1 recoil or something like that. I don't know if the
You'll
numbers.
easily pull out an 80,
I got a
an
screenshot of it
80
somewhere.
ergo SR out of it, which means
That'd be nice, actually.
target because the thing that makes me use the SR25 is it is the most accurate weapon there is. What I mean by accurate, I mean minute of angle, MOA.
Yeah.
The bullet deviation out of the SR25 is basically non-existent versus other weapons. And I'm sure pretty much anyone that's played Tarkov has had this, where you've been zoomed in on someone's head 200 meters away or 100 meters away or something. You've shot and it's been the perfect headshot, but they haven't gone down. The bullet hasn't hit them, right? And it's probably because you're using a weapon like an M4 or something that's designed to be a 30-meter engagement range or a 50-meter engagement range. The barrel isn't an accurate barrel, which means that its minute of angle makes the bullet have a spread after a certain distance that is larger than someone's head, right? Now, the thing with the SR25 is that if you aim at someone 400 meters away and you put it on their head and that you're zeroed correctly, it will hit the head. Its minute of angle is minuscule. And so if you can take that and add really good ergo to the weapon, it could be an amazing marksman rifle. It really could.
What else was there? The test server, the test branch, if
Mhm.
that's what they mean by ETS, should be out this month or next month.
Yeah.
And it's going to launch with the new Unity engine.
Oh yeah, true.
So
That'd be cool. I
Bear-
want to see
Also, Bear 3. I thought the Bear 3 was teased as broken English in the last Tarkov TV podcast, but
Yeah.
now
Didn't
it's
sound like
just,
broken English. No.
just a normal.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
is that what he was
that's-
using in the thing?
His character
Yeah.
was
Is that-
Bear 3.
Yeah, because that I thought that sounded different. I was like, was that like a different thing? But like
Yeah.
they didn't have the USEC one either, right? Because is there a new USEC one?
There
No,
was
there's
already a USEC 3, so they're just
There was-
matching.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
it was the clothing.
Clothing.
So I was thinking of
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
one.
There's new
The
bear
berets look cool.
clothes. Yeah, big for our no helmet using brethren.
Which the beret?
We get berets.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Oh,
don't get
yeah.
red ones, though. Not happy
That's
about
going to
that.
be labs now. It's not going to be baseball cap contacts. It's going to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
beret contacts.
The stripy
Yeah,
shit.
and the Momex.
I know. What is it? AMPR or Maris will love that. He's
Yeah.
from,
Yeah, he loves it.
Arma 3 Battle Royale. He's a beret user
Yeah.
for sure. You'll love that.
Anything else? New
The-
contacts because
the HUD. I didn't like it, honestly. I didn't like it.
The green, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't
I mean,
like it. No,
I get
the
it.
Color coding, yeah.
yeah, I get it, but I don't like it. It's like,
I think it's as far from minimalistic
yeah.
as it can go. And
It's
I think
too-
they might dial that back. I can't see people.
Hopefully, it's
especially
an
the people who love-
optional thing. I wouldn't mind it being because some
Yeah.
people do like having their HUD on always. They like seeing the hotbar. They
Yeah,
like
me.
seeing stuff all around. They like seeing like. I prefer only knowing.
yeah.
Like even the movement speed thing. Only when I scroll wheel it pops up. You know the always on HUD. I'm not a big fan of. It's too
I leave it
clunky.
always on.
Oh really?
But
Yeah,
I'm
same.
really gonna be put off by having a big green stick
Yeah,
man up
big
there.
green
I always
Hulk
used
up
to
there.
just glance at it. If it's white, it's fine. If it's
Mm.
black, it's messed. And if it's red, then
Yeah.
do something. Green,
Yeah,
orange, yellow.
I wouldn't mind if they maybe gave you the option to choose the color. I don't
Mhm.
know, but then you get some sort of funky. I mean, but that's each their own, right? That means that they just gives you the option, right? You don't have to use it, I suppose. But
I think
yeah,
that got me
dunno.
with it, honestly, because I'm kind of okay with it being changed, and But the only reason that I'm okay with it being changed is because I'm kind of sick to death of glancing in the top left corner of my screen, seeing that my arm is like bright red up on that indicator, pressing tab to go and have a look at it, and it's missing 4 points of health. And
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
this isn't an emergency.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
It's like you get shot by a shotgun scav, right? And it hits all parts of your body. Like, oh shit,
Bright
that
red.
fucked me up. When you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, well that's not bad. That's fine. Just Propital it.
It would be nice if hotkey meds prioritize your head and thorax. That's one thing I've always
Oh.
not understood.
Yes.
Oh,
Or just allow us to choose what our limb priority is for
Mm.
meds. Just say like, I want my priority to be this, 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 and this with drop down menus,
Yeah.
right? And then it's personalized, and at the end of the day, we are the PMC, and by hitting our hotkey, really, it would be us making the decision of what we're medding, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not like
Just
a
like
random.
give us
Well,
that ability to set priorities.
Yeah.
Continuous heals still need to be added. They were talked about, I think, in 11.7. The ability to just
Yeah.
hold their hotkey and continuously heal.
Mhm.
Another option,
okay.
an optional thing for picking whatever limb we want. What if, when you're reloading your mags, if you hold or you get the scroll wheel,
Pick the mag
know,
that you reload
do I
with.
want that mag or this mag? Or can we
Mhm.
just like hold, if I have an IFAC down to 4, hold or, similar to when you voice line, sometimes when, off topic, when you hold Y, sometimes if your character's hurt and you're near exfil, you hold Y and you
gives
can
you the
scroll wheel
choices.
between the
Mhm.
two options, which one you want to voice line.
Mhm.
If we can have that, then what I don't understand why we can't have hold 4 and then head, thorax,
That would be
pick which
definitely an
part of my
improvement.
body I want.
That'd be a step.
Yeah. It's not going to solve the
No.
issue because technically, if my head's hurt and my thorax is hurt, but my leg is bleeding, and it's really low HB, then yeah, of course, when I hit 4, I want to heal the leg first, not my
Yeah, that's
thorax or
true.
my head.
Mm.
But the option, give me the options, in my opinion, probably the better way to go about it.
Yeah, completely agree.
It's a lot in a patch because they downplayed it recently. They said it's not going to be as big. And I've actually seen a few content creators. Well, one specifically, I can't remember who it was, but I was looking at the thumbnail and it was kind of like 12.8. It's not huge. I was looking at it. There's a lot of things, but not a lot of.
I think when people
content
don't see a new map,
because-
they see small patch. That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what
I
it boils down
guess.
to.
That's true. Yeah, or like a wiper. They're just like that small.
Mm.
Yeah, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot of stuff, a lot of individual things.
Mhm.
But I feel like we'll all boil over it very quickly when we
Yeah.
realize, 3 wipes in, custom just, still the exact same.
Yeah.
There's no,
Yeah.
this guy has a black helmet. Okay, grand, sweet,
Mhm.
cross. Let me drink that. Oh, look, a new contacts. I really pissed me off the way that there's an E in the walker. They could really do me a solid by taking away the E in the contacts.
Just drop the E and make it lowercase.
Yeah.
stream item. Pog.
Yeah. Until then, I'm claiming it. I'll take it.
New weapon not being shown. Wait, yeah, guessing
The
UMP
hidden.
Vector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've teased both
like-
the models, haven't they?
Yeah, and they've got the ammo already in the game ready to go.
Mhm.
Like it makes sense that that's the next weapon coming in. Scar, patch
12.9.
after 0.9, right? Yeah.
Scar
so-
H or L?
Maybe,
So-
yeah, it doesn't say.
It didn't
Doesn't
say.
say.
Okay.
I'm hoping both. Like,
Mhm.
there's no
Yeah,
reason why
true.
we can't have the 5.56 and the 7.62
Mhm.
versions.
True that.
So that would be nice.
Vaulting
And,
soon, TM.
Yeah.
Voting
Oh, sorry.
CTM, yeah.
I need that. Fuck, holy shit. That's like, I
And-
don't know, like, yeah, vaulting's, oh god, the jumping in this game, like I
So
just want to jump
clunky,
on
yeah.
this box right here,
Mhm.
but I jump over it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna step
Yeah,
back a
yeah.
bit, and then I jump on it. It's like,
Yeah,
it
it is
is
clunky.
yeah.
Under barrels on the
GL40
scars.
nerfs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming that those GL40 nerfs, if I'm guessing correctly, will be explosion radius. From a video game balancing perspective, the nerf should come to the range of arming, right? Because the biggest problem is the shell that arms in 2 meters and then blows up. But if the nerf is going to be realistic, then it'll be the kill radius of the actual explosion, because you do
So-
have shells in real life that arm in 2 meters. but those shells don't kill anyone in a 5-meter bubble from the explosion, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see, I guess, what they do.
One thing I would quite like to see a improvement on is from watching Iron play so much lately, is I never quite realized how good flashlights were against like enemies. and stuff.
Flashlights
Oh, yeah.
are
I love
king.
There's a rule.
Yeah.
There's a rule with flashlights. It's like you can use if you use two, like just 2x400s. It's okay. You can see. You can, as in the person holding the gun can still see. You put anything more than 2, and you're as blind as he is when it comes to aiming
Yeah.
at someone.
But it's just also like when you're going around a building, taking it slow kind of thing, you turn the flashlight on and sadly you can see like the people outside. It's just clipped through the wall. I have no
Yeah.
idea
Yeah,
what
it's
kind of
buggy as
take.
hell.
Yeah.
I
Like
just
the-
kind of like to
yeah.
see that.
I've
I
used
agree.
them. I've used them a lot more because I've toned back my since stopped playing labs. I've toned back my post effects because I still can't figure out settings at the minute. Either concrete blinds me or I can't see into dark corners. So I'm happy with having the game dark and then using a flashlight to light up dark corners. And
Yeah.
people keep saying, "Oh, you're just making yourself exposed. People can spot you with the flashlight." I'm not really that.
Everyone
arsed.
says that. It's annoying.
Yeah. I'm not really that.
Getting
arsed.
Annoys me.
flashlight peaked. Getting flashlight peaked in this game is one of the most
Oh,
yeah,
annoying
it's
things.
so
I've
jarring.
ever
It
really
works.
experienced.
It's what me and Hayes do all
Yeah.
the time, though.
Yeah,
Literally,
it
we're
works.
both-
blame
We're
you,
both running
it's-
flashlights, and we will run around a corner with a flashlight blaring in their face.
Yeah. It's like everyone
Yeah,
keeps saying
yeah.
the flashlight gives somebody something to aim at. They're just going to aim at the light, but you're like,
Nah,
once you're in
the
there,
light
isn't the head.
it never works ever. You're shooting at a flashlight and you're like, oh, am I hitting? Am I missing? And it just makes you panic. It's crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah, I suppose that's also it. Yeah, like you don't actually know that you're hitting them
No,
at all because
no.
it's just like this bright sort of this light in
Yeah.
your face. You know it. There's someone there, but you don't know if you actually hit them or not.
No, that's great.
So
I
that's actually
really
one
love
plus
flashlights.
point.
I still die on flashlight peaks,
Mhm.
but I don't get head eyes much. I tell you that now. Like when I'm
Yeah.
when if I'm aiming a flashlight at someone and I die, it's
yeah,
probably to stomach or thorax, right?
it's
It's not to
usually because I potatoed. That's what's happened there.
yeah.
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 Here's one. Knockback effects. Sorry.
Yeah,
I read that if you shotties and nades, I presume if you hit someone with a shotgun and they tank it, that they're gonna fly on their arse. Like,
Oh,
That'd
really?
be realistic.
Hmm.
So I
it'd be
mean, like,
realistic.
That'd be
Like a-
OP as shit though. Imagine that.
Yeah.
They're stuck
It's
in like a stun lock animation where they're just constantly
Ugh.
stumbling and stuttering. Oh,
I
my
know
God.
for
Nope.
a fact it's gonna happen. Someone's gonna breach your door, nail me in the chest with his shotgun, and just coming out.
They're gonna come with a Saiga 12,
execute me.
and it's gonna be a new leg meta where you just put somebody in a stun lock animation of like stumbling around or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're like spamming them with Sagas, just like, Oh my God.
I hope it's tied to range. If it does happen, because I don't think it's confirmed, right? He said he was going to look into it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it would be a range thing. Like if I hit you with birdshot, for instance, or buckshot from like 2 meters out, like you are flying backwards and you are on your ass. But if I hit you with buckshot 15 meters away, it's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna knock you on your ass, right? So I hope that when they do introduce it, they keep that in mind, right?
Yeah. I'm sure they will. To be fair.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, because I mean that could be one thing that could give the shotguns the edge in like super CQC, like point blank range. Because at the moment, I mean, like what, no one uses shotguns really unless you're memeing. So I don't know, like yeah, I mean that could be a thing, right?
True.
Yeah. Well, they are in real life. Shotgun is the ultimate CQC weapon. If you know, if you're in a kill house or you're like breaching clearing or something, then the best weapon to have is a shotgun because you will drop whoever you shoot at. And generally,
Even if you miss,
shotguns-
right?
yeah. Combat shotguns are generally like very, very ergonomic, very easy to swing around. They're normally quite short. If you think about like SWAT team shotguns, are normally things like the Spaz 12.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
stuff
that
like
would be
which
so
are
nice in the
Specifically,
game.
short barrel shotguns that are very easy to flick around with. Like shotguns are king in real life of CQC combat. And unfortunately, a lot of video games shy away from that because otherwise they just get 1,000 people crying, "Oh, the guy came around the door and shotgunned me. Shotguns are OP."
Yeah, shotgun range.
Yeah.
Like these COD players, like, oh, shotguns are OP. Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, because you're right next to them. That's the thing, right? Like But
Yeah.
but then again, I suppose there is no range in these games like Call of Duty and stuff like that. So like if you're in dorms, whatever, like there is no range. So if you're gonna go dorms, expect a shotgun. If you're gonna go, to the new area, the main building, and no one's gonna have a shotgun really unless they're right up close, right? But just don't let them get that close. I don't know.
It's true.
There's ways of playing
Yeah.
it. People just like to complain about things. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Same argument with reserve. Everyone's saying we get sniped out of nowhere. It's like, well, just clear your angles and move building to building. It's like
Yeah,
you're not going to get
right.
sniped out of nowhere if you know the angles of where
Yeah.
what window looks at what.
Yeah.
Use the new underground. I mean, it's like
Mm.
literally like the
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
underground has basically made snipers have
That's
a
it.
much harder time.
He's got PTSD about that underground.
Mate,
The
literally,
shit-
I'm scarred from going under there now.
There's some really horrible angle that you can get in there. It's in this like cylinder room.
Mm-hmm. The
where
head
the
into
floor is
You're on
D2.
about you're on about the jump onto the thing on top of the
Amazing.
Oh,
in the
yes.
That
corner.
place
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
worst
Behind the
thing
floodlight?
No, so
Uh,
you know the
no,
stairs
no.
that run up to the door at the end.
Yeah, you
of
can
the
jump up on the
cylinder
platform
room.
behind.
Yeah, the jump up on the platform
Yeah.
on the left, and you sit in complete
Darkness.
darkness.
Yeah.
You cannot be seen.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
the
it's
worst thing I've
yeah,
ever
yeah.
seen in this game. That angle, that you come around the corner, even when you know he's there, and he's still got like 100% advantage over you. You know,
But
Well,
then
it's
in
that's
every way.
flashlights. That is where flashlight. Like, tell you what, you peek that from that corner with a flashlight on. All he sees is a light and not you at all, and you
Mhm.
literally light him up like a silhouette.
You
against the wall.
have to shoot the floodlight first though, because that blinds you.
Yeah, 'cause
The one,
I was
yeah,
believe I was playing with Walker at the time. Is
Yeah.
when I went down through there, I knew somebody was there because it just didn't seem right. I just had that feeling. I was like, pop the light behind me, pop the floodlights, and next thing, I peek it, I just get nailed. I just set a random shot up where roughly someone would be led down, hear the and then I'm getting lit up by MP7s, and Walker kills them, and it's a 3-man.
Yeah.
All led down up
Wow.
on top of this platform.
I remember watching
15
that actually.
points.
15 points. Yeah.
Every time I like kill people now on a raid, I'm like,
Yeah.
10
Same.
points.
Yeah.
I get
I see a
it's not- I
CMS
don't-
on Shoreline. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
10 points. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fuel conditioner in the tech crate and customs always brings a smile to my face.
Yeah. It's
Um,
like
yeah, go on.
Hayes earlier was just like, oh, I had a raid, I got 8 PMCs, and the first thing I said to him was, dude, 25 points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to pick out a couple. There's 2 questions that got picked out from chat and got sent to me here. Do you think they should add restrictions on tournaments like items and gear, or leave it as it is?
Sorry.
On tournaments. So talking about evasion specifically here. Would you like to see gear restrictions, budget, etc.?
I would, but I'd like to see it in a separate tournament. And I know that's like double the work, but
Mhm.
I feel like the way to do it as it is right now is so good because you have players that, just for an example, that are richer in the game, like these guys. I'm trying to point at
I
Hayes
am
and
not
Timo.
rich.
And
I
then
am
you
not
look at,
rich.
oh yeah, okay, but you're not at like 2 mil, you know. And
Yeah.
I had to basically step
but
up
to-
my
to-
gear.
Do you know what? To
match.
go on that point though, Walker. Sorry to cut you off. I wasn't rich, but I purposely farmed for duos, and I dumped 30 mil on that one day. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's about the prep,
I-
knowing that there's
Yeah,
no
no, I
restrictions.
like having to do
Mm,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I get
like
what
for
you're saying,
example,
though.
the
Mhm.
difference between the first round and the second
Mhm.
round, you know. I trust me, I enjoyed playing the first round more, although we did better in the second, in the semifinals, you know.
I get that.
I think, yeah, it'd be fair enough for me to say, oh, I'd like to say, you know, you have to use a 5.56 and it has to be, you know, certain attachments. Okay, that's fine for me, but
Mhm.
it's not fine for the people who
Yeah.
like playing the game their own way. So maybe if there was a once-off, 1-round invite thing to test it with like restricted weapons.
I honestly think that the best answer, obviously, anybody who's got an opinion on this, feel free to jump in. But the best answer for this is if BSG get involved as well and give custom accounts where Sigma can say, you've got 5 mil, level 4 traders, go, right? Rather than
Yeah.
if you've got 100 mil, use that 100 mil. If you haven't played for 2 weeks and you're using scav gear, well, tough shit. Having that set
Yeah.
budget trade level, so everyone's on almost level playing field, that would be perfect. That's why
and have like like an hour before to sort of like buy your kits and stuff with that limited money.
That'd be a
makes
perfect
sense.
thing. And I think
Yeah.
you know when Pest is talking about private servers, he's also mentioned that having that possible of custom accounts where he can set budgets, set trade levels, and set gear, rather than going in with level 1 trial key where you have to snowball, or going in with everything. You know, it's
Right.
night and day opposites.
Honestly,
go on.
watching Matt stream has been a lot of fun. And one of the things that I really picked up from it was that I really would love to run some kind of tournament titled Battle of the Rats, right? But you get like 5 people, you get them to all go into like reserve together, naked. And they literally have to like find their weapons. They have to find absolutely everything, 0 to hero style, and like compete against each other. And then they've got to get out, and they get certain points for what gear they bring out of the raid and stuff, and like that. And it's just like this proper, completely different play style.
The main problem with that is the guy who gets one tapped and has to spectate for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
What if like there was like simple 5 people, separate raids, not the same raid, but 5 people, 5 trial keys. They have to jump on the account and delete everything. Nothing, no money, no nothing, no skills, no nothing. And then they basically had like, you know, it's 2 hours to 0 to hero run on reserve, and who can accumulate the most items, bring it out, sell it to fence, take the money, leave it in the stash, go again for 2 hours, but only 0 to hero. It'd be its own type of tournament. It'd be a different one. It wouldn't be something that we're used to. And for a lot of people, they probably say, I'm not watching that. It's definitely not the typical
the people who'd into hardcore account watching and doing would be into that. That's the reason why I shy away from hardcore accounts. Like, even going back to the Pest tournament, like, I can go on a bad run of dying 5 times in a row on a hardcore account, and I'd end up with nothing for 2 days. Do you know what I mean? I can see it happening. That's why I'm so shying away from it until I actually get good with like bone stock SKSs and bone stock AK, until I'm actually comfortable using those, which I'm not at the minute. I mean, I'm okay early wipe when everybody else is at that level. I'm good early wipe. I'm fine. When I'm go against anybody with a face shield, or do you know what I mean? I get stumped. So it's a good idea for sure, but
I'm really behind that, to be honest.
Yeah, I was of the same opinion. I'm like, I'm not interested in 0 to heroes. I'm not interested in like low budget runs. Like, that's not my Tarkov, right? It is my Tarkov, week 1 of wipe, and I enjoy that, and I thoroughly enjoy that. But I love progressing out of it, right? But I'll be honest, been watching Matt do his 0 to heroes, and it's a laugh, man. It's like, it's so cool seeing the range of emotions. He sprints across into White Knight and jumps up the Jeep, right? But like, before he gets to White Knight, a scav like aggro's onto him because he's got nothing on him, and he's tagged and cursed. And this scav is running him down, he's chasing, and he's like in total fear, like, no, don't kill me. And he's like trying to jump up the Jeep and run into White Knight and get to the room with the AKs in. And then he opens the room up, and there's no AKs on the side. And now there's this scav outside pinning him down, like shouting in through the Jeep room, and he's just there stuck in this room, like, what do I do? And he's like jumping out of the window, and the scav's running around, and like the range of emotions and content that comes from it was really awesome.
Just wait till you spend an hour building an AK and getting thick, and you're sitting on the train, and a raider rolls in and takes you out.
Yeah.
I had an emotional bond with that AK, and that's the last 0 to hero run I did, because I'm not going through that emotion again.
Do you know what it is? The big thing about Matt's 0 to hero run is that to enjoy that and to do that, you have to get over a big stigma of A, hatchet running, and B, low gear running. There's still, I don't know, it goes with anything though. Like, even someone can pick up a GL and use it for an hour, and all of a sudden they're a GL user, and they're labeled that forever, for life. They can't shake that title, and people judge them for it. Just because the GL might be broken right now, you might not enjoy it. Everyone hates dying to it. But just because, for the sake of, everyone always says, like, even when I died to a GL, and it's a TTV guy, everyone's like, maybe he's just doing it for content, give him a chance. And it's like, I can't help but be salty about it, I'm sorry. But there's that whole kind of sub I don't know. There's always sitting under the line of like, if I go in undergeared, I'm going to be labeled as a rat. If I go in overgeared, I'm labeled as, you know, having to rely on my meta HK to get a kill.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all just if you care about other people's
Mhm.
opinions, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just change your name to Offender in game and GL people. It's fine.
Valor
Where
Use an
I
extract
found-
camping for 3 days. No.
Where I found like a lot of it's kind of different when I do my zero to hero runs, as I don't take the hatchet, stuff like that. But when I spawn in, I'm not rushing the high tier loot spawns.
That's the thing. Yeah, Aero does the same. So he does it on labs, but he doesn't go near dome to put a lead X up his arse. He's going to every single weapon container to try and get a stock AK and one type of raider or player. And that's what you do as well, again in reserve. It's
Like,
not
the
as if
best thing I'll
you're not going
do
drop down to
is-
get a graphics card up your ass. You go
Yeah.
into all the weapon boxes and AK rooms.
Yeah, like the worst thing I'll probably do is open up mod because it's obviously got.
Yeah, sometimes you get an SR in
yeah.
there or an MDR or something. You know, with a
If I
with a
get
loaded.
something like that, I'm more than happy. But then
Mhm.
I'll go and try and get some kind of scope to put on it.
Yeah.
But I have a couple people like come in that is like,
Mhm.
you're a level 55 and you're doing
That's
the
just
hatchet run. It's
something
like,
you
no,
have to deal with. It's whatever.
I'm
Once
going
with a bit
nothing.
of, you can just explain it, you know, as if you should really.
No,
I mean,
there's
I
no
feel
point.
like
No
we
point.
have to. Yeah, but it's like anything we do now is considered an extreme,
Mm.
and I feel like there's a lot of pressure on streamers that they have to explain themselves. Like, why are you, you know, happen even like mid-wipe this, like, why are you, you know, class 5 killer helmet, you know, visor, or whatever? Why are
Mhm.
you so chatted up? You're only going to customs, and I don't
Mhm.
have to explain myself to anyone. Like, oh, you're level 50 with a pistol. Yeah,
Mhm.
50% of the time I'll smoke you with it. Like, just let it be. Don't focus on
Mhm.
yourself. Stop focusing on what other people are
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
Okay, I get it. Extract camping on stream might piss people off. That's the
Even
only time
that,
where I can
I'm not that
feel
asked
like,
about it.
Yeah.
I'm beyond numb about it. I played the game for 3
Yeah.
years. Extract camping has
Mhm.
been a thing since day one, and it's always going to be a thing. If somebody's based their channel around it and making content about it, more power to you.
Mhm.
You know, you're doing well. You're doing more than I
Yeah,
can
I
It's
do.
mean,
like
he's
innovation.
found a niche. Fair
Exactly.
play, dude.
Yeah.
That's more than anyone
And-
could do, really, I suppose.
And if you're down to
Yeah.
extract campers, that's on you. I'm sorry. that's
Yeah.
that's all I
Like,
can say without being
yeah.
apologetic. It's been a thing
We
since the
think
game's
agree.
been a thing.
I agree.
Mm.
The one thing I don't like about it
Mm.
is when people extract camp and play other games with their Tarkov turned up really loud just so they can hear footsteps approaching. They
Is
sit there, they open Tarkov, they get
Yeah.
into an extract,
right.
and then they go play another game for 40 minutes, and then they suddenly start hearing like loud footsteps. They alt tab back.
do you
over
want to know a
Tarkov,
secret?
They kill the guy.
Do you want to know a secret?
What?
2 podcasts ago, during the podcast, Philbo was in labs with the GL, just absolutely hammering people. And that was the time Germany had my name on the dog tag.
Yeah.
People come into my chat like, what the fuck? Somebody's on your account GLing people in labs right now. And he's kept Wing in the chat. And he's like, and I was like, what's going on? He's like, I'm in labs right now while we're talking. I was like, well, Jesus. So,
Oh, well,
like, I
okay,
don't
that's a bit
know.
poor fun, but let's people been an asshole. Yeah, no, I totally agree. If you're gonna, like, I don't know if you're talking about the specific person. Like, I always said, I think it was like the first one of our group, my group of people that I play with, like to say,
Mm.
hang on, like, he's actually a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Like,
found
in terms
it's
of content
the guilty
creating.
pleasure.
Mhm.
There's a
Mhm.
lot of people in that. There's like, you know, on average, like 600-700 people in there.
Mhm.
Some of those people are like, oh, you fuck extract camp, but they're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
They're gonna watch it. That's
The,
it's like
the
certain
harder
things
someone goes
where,
in
like,
with the salt in there, the bigger tier gifted sub they get. Honestly,
Yeah.
so if you go in
Yeah.
there raging, you get a guaranteed sub. If you go in ham, he doesn't ban you. Somebody in there is going to
Mhm.
give you a tier 2, tier 3. It's nuts. And he's created a, like, I don't know, man. I've spoken to the guy, and he's not a
Yeah.
terrible guy, and he's
yeah.
done something that I can't do. He relishes in toxic. Like,
Yeah.
if he was to offer a stream day with me, it might boost my numbers for a day. I just can't deal with the negativity, honestly,
Mhm.
because like
Mhm.
it might be fun. It might be like fun for a few hours, but the amount of negativity that he deals with might be self-inflicted. It might not be. I get enough
Mhm.
hate as it is in my DMs and spammed and shit like that. I can't deal with that level of. He just relishes, and I don't know. He's cut out a niche, and more power to him. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I think it's creative
Mm.
to a degree. It's some simple way,
He's
but
taken some jokes too far. He's done some things that he himself has admitted he's not proud of, and
Mhm.
I think that's part of developing like an online.
That's more
persona
about him
and
as a person, not his
person, right?
playstyle. But that's I
Yeah.
can't really comment on any
Yeah.
of that. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, that is what it is. It's
But yeah, I mean, like, good for him. Admittedly, when I first, because I knew about him way before he was known on Twitch, right?
Mhm.
Like, I died to him once. I literally died to a guy called Exil Camper TTV and had a look at his stream.
Mhm.
And back then, you know, he had like 35 people in his stream, like maybe even 25 people. The thing that I was suspicious about him at first, and you know,
Going on,
frankly,
Avian.
I don't really care. Originally, like, he was 1 week averaging 30 people, and the next week averaging 600, and my mind was just like, oh, he's probably botting. Oh well, all right, move on. And I don't know how he did it in 1 week, but he did do it in 1 week, and all power to him if he, you know, if
It
he
was
did it genuinely.
it was a
Um,
massive YouTuber kind of dropped the bomb on it and started promoting him.
yeah, yeah.
Either way, like I said, I don't want to get into people's personals. Like it's
Mhm.
it's a rocky road. I'd rather not comment on other people's
yeah.
content, honestly. And
Mhm.
more power to him. Like I said, make your money. He's doing well.
For
If
like,
if you're not that way inclined, you don't enjoy that place, don't watch him. That's it. I'd rather
Yeah.
not. Do you know what I mean? That people bring hate onto other channels to my chat, and I'm like, not here. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This conversation is for somewhere else, and
No,
that
yeah.
place isn't here. Honestly, it's
Mhm.
there's so many people who talk about me in other channels, and let them, and that's just how Twitch be. You know, you keep focus on yourself and do your own thing, and yeah. And
I just remembered something
Mhm.
that is actually crazy exciting about the patch.
Hmm.
SKS stripper clips.
Yeah, he did
Oh,
mention.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that that's the kind of like
So that
top
wasn't
load
that
many
was
bullets at once,
that wasn't
right?
in the patch notes. It was in his Q&A when he's flicking through his phone.
Yeah, it was.
They
Yeah.
were the submitted questions, and it was just like maybe soon. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. 100%.
Because I've been, I mean, I've probably like literally talked Haze's ear off multiple times during our streams together
Mhm.
about like stripper clips, auto feeders as
Mhm.
well. I don't know if you guys know what an auto feeder is, but it's
Yeah.
literally it's like a funnel,
Mhm.
and you stick it in the top of a magazine,
Mm.
and you literally just pour a box of bullets into it,
Mm.
and it auto feeds it into the mag, and it just pushes them down, and
Mhm.
then it takes maybe 5 seconds once you've emptied the box for it to just go,
Yeah.
and then you pull the mag away, put the new mag in, more bullets in.
Mhm.
I've wanted that in game for a long time because the military use them. It's a regular military item.
Right.
That would be really, like, you know, if you think you've got one of those 60 round PMags, right?
Mhm.
For an M4, it takes a while to rebond one of those things. Imagine just being able to take an auto feeder, pull out a box of 60 rounds, go, woof, wait 6 seconds as it does its thing, take the auto feeder off, put it back in your bag, and your mag's full, ready to go.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
If they could do it right, it could be sweet. Can you preload the auto feeder and then stick the mag on top and
No,
it goes in,
it's
or you
literally
have to?
it's a funnel with an electric motor and like it's like rubber.
There are
wheels,
manual ones, though, aren't there?
essentially.
Like a
There are,
lever, almost like a lever.
You muted yourself, I think, Iron. Then
Oh, I
stop.
put my
okay.
mic on. Oh shit, that was weird. Yeah.
You can get like, it's like a little like board that's, you know, just a bit longer than your magazine. Well, it's about twice as long as your magazine. You put your magazine on the end of it, and then there's like a channel, and you like line all your bullets up along the board,
Yeah.
and then you just push the magazine along the board, and it just sucks up all the bullets. You do have those as well, but they are a lot bigger and bulkier, sort of thing.
Okay.
But the stripper clips would
can't-
be cool because
Yeah.
you just load the ammo into the stripper clips, and then with like an SKS with a 10 round internal, you just push the stripper clip down like into the mag, and then you rip it back out, and there you go. You've got your 10 rounds back in the SKS.
Mhm.
Interesting. I could talk Tarkov all day with you guys. I appreciate your time. I'm not gonna hold you up too much. We usually keep it 3 hours. But yeah, thanks again. I think I've covered all the questions there. But yeah, thanks for your time. It was awesome. We'll do it again sometime. What have we got coming up? We got obviously your guys in the final. We got I think all of us pretty much. I'm gonna try. We're gonna see if there's any late cancellations in EU solos. Matt, put your name in there. Just throw a bit of interest in there. Unfortunate.
I'm just gonna get shot by Walker along with
fine,
you.
Don't worry about it. We'll look out for it. Hopefully nobody does drop out and things like that. But if it does
Mhm.
happen, there's always people waiting in the wings to dive in. But EU solos is gonna be fun. Plenty of banter. That's what about the solos is about, and we've got a lot of stuff to look forward to there. Duo finals is gonna be big. I have actually put my name down to mod you guys, so you got me to deal with
Nice.
screaming, get
Lovely.
the tags, and get out for 3 hours. So look forward to that.
It's honestly just your motivation that was a huge part of our first round. It's just when you chime in at the end of the raid and you're just like, you guys are doing incredibly. I'm at the edge of my seat watching this. Keep it up.
It's gonna be
Like,
different
just
when you're against
hearing
Rob. I'm gonna be like,
Rob's ahead, boys. Yeah, come on. Chop, chop.
just do your best, I guess. I mean, third place isn't terrible. I mean, you don't know to get in. No, it's gonna be good. I'm excited,
Hey,
honestly.
Look, if we take third place, then we're the number 3 world Tarkov
Please,
duo.
no, you're not right. But the only thing that will make you the third, please, for everything that's good and holy, please beat 373. Please beat our score so that I can at least stop being salty about that. You know, please beat our score. Just do that.
Roger
Do
that.
yourself a favor.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right.
All right, we'll go for that 400.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I tell you what,
alright.
we'll aim for that 500. There you
Okay.
go.
Either way, no
Oh,
pressure. No pressure.
Is that even possible? Probably is, right? But holy shit.
Yeah.
No pressure. Just
Well,
let it
the-
loose. Basically, is what I'm saying.
I mean, Hayes, literally with the score that we got on the round just done, the semifinals, if
Hmm.
we did that, but if we just survived every raid,
Yeah.
Just
don't
that'd
die.
be 500.
And you're
Just
Literally, if
don't
we
die.
survived all of those raids and extracted together, that was 500.
Yeah. I mean, like we spoke about it, right? With the sort of staying together and stuff like that, and it's like the sort of just trying to stick together and stuff. That would help. I mean, we survived like probably through three more raids at the minimum with that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
but-
Do you know what would be a cool one? If you won, if a person won, a team won, they couldn't re-enter as the same team, but their names were like in a Hall of Fame sort of thing, right? I
Yeah.
don't know where, if Evasion had a website or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
I don't,
soon.
but obviously that wouldn't work unless it was done from the start, right?
Yeah.
So, like for example, you and Arrow couldn't enter together
Yeah.
anymore. You had to.
Split the
But
team up.
winners were always guaranteed slots, and eventually, as
So
it goes on, you could have an all-star.
Yeah. There is two things with that, right?
Mm.
We do want that's the thing that excites me, is the smaller, newer streamers getting in there and getting their name out there. That really excites me, because I saw myself 6 months ago on 150 followers in that tournament, and then everything else is history since then. But
Mm-hmm.
on the flip side, Sigma wants the best of the best, so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
do you just give it?
You
to
could always
all
have
the
like
unknowns?
in like CS:GO majors, like where you had the challengers.
Yeah,
and
they did
then
have
what
the
are
all
other
stars.
ones?
So
The
last
legends.
time, after me and Aero won last time, you had Willers and Landmark, Robin and Bikizi, and there was a third team. I forget who it was. Shit.
Not important.
Yeah, not important. Nobody's. They lost anyway. But there was an all stars thing, right? Where that happened.
Yeah.
So again, they'll probably have something similar to that. Oh yeah, I did mention as well. Possible. So all right, interchange solos. Do you know Gearing Up Gopnik? Sorry, I'm waffling here. I did say we were wrapping up.
Yeah.
So Gearing Up Gopnik, do you know you have you're collecting items in a bag, right? Points
Right.
per item.
Yeah.
The original idea for that was a battle mod's going to go in with you naked with a pistol, and you're gearing them up,
Oh god.
right? That was the
Oh,
original
that's-
idea,
yeah.
right?
Right.
But it's so much work to have a second battle mod and scoring, so we scrapped that. So it's literally put stuff in your bag, pretend that you're gearing someone up.
Right.
Possible Sherpa event off season is you as a Sherpa taking in a PMC and gearing them up in a raid. That's an idea I've thrown out there. It looks to have stuck, maybe, possibly.
Can you just tell him to sit in a bush all right, and then you'll come back to him?
Yeah.
Because he's not going to go. I'm not going to drag someone around naked with
So-
me. You know what I mean?
So as well, there was a green light, red light system with it as well. So he's got a pistol. Imagine you kill a guy, you kill Killer, right? And he's got Killer's armor on him. If you give him green light and you're in a 3-man fight, any kills that he gets, you don't get pointed for. But if you say red light, you're not cleared to fire, go hide, you're getting all the kill points. So you have that choice in your mind of, do you help him? Did you let him help you in a gunfight and
I'm gonna
sacrifice
I'm gonna
kill
get
points
Robin.
to survive?
Robin can be my little guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Little
But-
Terminator. What if it was something like, the way you have to go into reserve and you got to hide away all these items, right?
Mhm.
What if it was like interchange, you have to get this outfit, take what you can out of the raid, then go into reserve. And instead of putting a dog tag here, you have to put the helmet here.
Yeah.
So if you come out with 6 items
Mhm.
from interchange, you have more options on reserve to hide things. Whereas if you bottled it and came out with 2 items on interchange, you can only possibly get 2 points for reserve. I feel like people are going to do crap in interchange and they're going to farm points on reserve really easily.
I'm gonna suggest in the Evasion Discord that either Garlam or Riz, one of the internal affairs guys, makes a future tournament suggestion box where we all just spam these kind of ideas. Because I could literally, that's the reason why our Evasion meetings go on for 10 hours. Because I'm just there waffling off these ideas. What if we did this? What if we did this? What if BSG involved and got this? And we literally spend all night just talking about this kind of stuff. I'd really like. I love these conversations because there's so much potential with Tarkov when it comes to, you know, not all tournament needs to be PvP orientated, and not all of them need to be loot RNG. There's so many in betweens. Protect the president. So many ideas that we've got, but a lot of work for sure.
And private servers are just gonna
And just
change the game really.
We just need people like. I know all you guys are doing your bit, supporting Invasion, getting involved, but you know we do need more people in terms of momentum just to get BSGs to say, look, this is actually awesome. I don't think they realize how awesome it is. I don't know, but yeah.
If they asked you, what do you need? Would you have an answer prepared?
Private servers.
Like if I were to say
private servers and custom accounts.
Yeah.
They're the 2 things, literally. And they're the 2 things that they've offered other people who are doing tournaments, but they won't offer Evasion. So it's definitely on their books and possibilities, within their realms of possibilities, you know, in terms of what they've done with Rivals and what they're expecting to do in the future events that other streamers are holding. It's in their realms of possibility, and it's just Evasion haven't got that green light yet, which, you know, we're working on it.
I feel like once the private servers are out there and functioning and doing what they need to do for, say, Leslie's Punisher tournament and stuff, I feel like they'll be much more open to just giving them over to Evasion as well.
Yeah,
I think probably what someone in BSG is thinking about it is that like they don't want to put it through, like they need a big enough event to warrant them actually like putting the work into actually making
that's all it is.
There'd be no shame in it.
No.
Pastili might be the first person to get it done in the shortest period of time. It don't matter. But as long as they exist,
his Punisher tournament had 10,000 views, and Evasion, you know, if there's someone big in there, it might push 1,000, but most of the time it's in 100. So it's natural for them to, you know, it is what it is. It's just, it's what it is.
I mean, we could use Lupo's clout because Lupo loves the Evasion battles. He thinks they're great.
He
like,
missed,
I feel like you could use him.
Yeah, he had
to back out. That's it. It's a real
schedule
shame.
issue.
It's a real shame.
Yeah, it's actually a real shame for sure.
I know. I know. Whenever he ends his stream on an Evasion battles night, he almost always raids someone that's like battling. Like he really supports them. So
yeah,
you know. But yeah.
All right. I think we're good. We'll wrap up there. Anybody live right now? Any of you guys?
No.
Huh?
No.
All right.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm just chilling. I'm gonna get some food and I'm just mooching around. What you got planned?
No, you staying live?
Me? Nah. I'll probably nah. I mean, I was gonna. I don't know. What are you thinking? Among Us?
Yeah, or given the other game, it's Grace because I passed the 2-hour mark now, so I'm gonna really want to like that game.
We're gonna need 8 other people on it. I was thinking that. I think Simply is still down for it. We'll talk about it.
Project Winter.
Yeah. Do you know what it was, right?
Was I not supposed to say that? Actually?
No, it was a really good game, right?
Okay.
Really good game. It's Among Us in a longer form, but the problem was, right, put yourself in my shoes here, Timo. This is what happened. I'd hyped it up for a week. I'd given the hard sell to people like Walker, Philbo, Defender, Ontorius. Got them to spend 15 quid on it. Took time up my usual Tarkov schedule to play it. But imagine Among Us where you die in the first 5 minutes and then you spectate in 45 minutes. That was basically what it was for 3 hours. So
the problem
I didn't actually get a chance to play it. That was the problem. So yeah.
If the game ended when the bad guys was dead, then it'd be fine.
I think what it is, we need to learn the game in a way where we play almost passively and then lower the time so that the person who dies early isn't spectating for 45 minutes. They're just spectating for 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
I think it's because we were terrible. That like no, literally there were like 1 or 2 people that were doing everything for us. So it was taking like 45 minutes.
Just doing everything.
Like I was trying to throw the odd dig at Philbo every now and again. I wasn't even the bad guy. Like, it's
And
just,
it
you know.
swiping with an axe for no reason.
No, I mean I watched the Marksman play it back
Mm.
when they played it. They jumped on it, and they had a very similar thing. The reason why they never really went back to it, like they played it a couple of times and then didn't really go back to it on their Marksman night, is just because, like that exact reason. There's so much downtime if you die early.
Yeah.
And the way to get around it, of course, is like as a group broadcast sort of thing, in the way that Evasion GG does it. You know, when a solo battler dies in the solo battles, they're out of raid, but there's still 3 more streams of content on the screen, right?
Mhm. I was
Yeah.
jumping into labs when I died. I jumped into labs.
Yeah,
That's how bored I got.
yeah.
There's
no,
nothing
I
to do
don't-
when you're dead.
It's a tough one. I mean, it's a fantastic game, but it's a much longer drawn out
Yeah.
game in comparison to Among Us.
For sure. I think I would really love to give it another chance, but I think everybody else is so burnt on it that it's like never again. I think some of them are
It's-
refunded
yeah.
it and shit. So
Oh, have they? All right.
I don't know. Yeah,
It's not. It's a shame because I can't jump on it on my own. You know, to
yeah.
give it its second wind to see.
Yeah, well, I'll either resell it to some other people. I know Simply's probably still down for it. Probably Philbo,
Have you-
Onsorius, and Offender probably. Oh,
And
you
Matt too.
Have you tried Deceit?
Philbo
Dan?
would. Nah, I've not tried to see.
And so Deceit
Why?
is another a game of that style, of the Among Us Project Winter style.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit slower than
Project
Among Us, but
Winter,
definitely
Odin.
faster than Project Winter. And a lot of people think it's a really, really good game.
Yeah, I've
So, I
heard
mean,
it's a
it
really
definitely
good
looks like
game.
it. Yeah.
Is it? Why do you not like it, Aaron?
I know I've said I've not tried it.
Oh, I thought you said you're not trying it.
No, I
You
haven't
should give
tried it.
that a bash. I remember I played it a long time ago. It's
Give it a
very
go.
similar.
I'm down.
I think I have that as well. But
I
I've
think
done
it's
the
free to
Project
play.
Winter.
Well,
Yeah,
you guys need to pick up Prop and Seek as well. Actually, it's free to play on Steam. Please grab it. At some point, we're going to jump
See,
on.
I much prefer Peekaboo. I much prefer Peekaboo over Prop.
It doesn't really. It's so janky and so broken. But when there's 20 of us in the server and we're all just chatting shit with each other, oh, it's hilarious. It's great fun. Either way, we're gonna, linking up with people and playing these kind of left field games has been fun. Honestly, I'm
Mhm.
I'm slightly addicted to Among Us. Not gonna lie, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love Among Us.
For
Okay.
a game that's 2D and has 3 maps.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to it. Yeah.
I'm literally losing
I-
friends over it as well, and having to sit in Discord calls playing politics for 3 hours after a game, just trying to explain that I'm not really an arsehole, honestly.
I just don't quite understand how I can report you and I witness you murder a man, and yet I get voted off the
You
ship
just-
somehow.
You're not
The
trustworthy.
way
Matt,
the
I'm
cookie
sorry.
crumbles.
So-
You're that
It's-
trustworthy that you're not trustworthy. If you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
it's
was
like-
watching. I was watching Iron play with like Sigma and everyone. I thought to myself, Jesus, maybe I might step that one out now. I don't want to. I have a feeling that some people will hold my lies and they'll hold grudges against me. So I'm a spectate this one.
My main
That
problem with Among Us recently is that, like, I'm playing with the same group of people, right?
They know you're
And
good,
they
and
know,
you're
They know I'm good and I can
Yeah.
talk a good game.
Mhm.
So if they're the imposter, I die straight away.
Philbo had the
Yeah,
same problem
yeah,
yesterday.
Remember.
Philbo had the same
Like, if
problem
I'm a-
yesterday,
Yeah, yeah.
and it got to
Um,
the point where, it wasn't. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it didn't become fun, but the thing, like, here's the thing: because I was in a 12-hour session, I was immune to it. If I was getting insta killed or getting voted off early, I was immune to it. It was memes, but other people were like jumping in and out and doing other things. And if they get into the game and they get insta voted, they're like, "Oh, I'm out. I'm done for the night." Do you know what I mean? I'm back to
Yeah.
whatever I was doing earlier.
Mhm.
But yeah, well, in long form, it's fine because you become immune to it. It's like, oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
So I
When in
like
doubt.
I grew up playing basically the same games but in like card game format,
Mhm.
like playing Avalon and Resistance
Mhm.
and Mafia and Werewolf and all of that thing. Like I grew up playing that as party games and stuff, you know. So it's always been something that I've been
So does
quite
that
3
mean
hours
I've
of sleep.
been
To tell you.
brought
I get
up
it, Philbo.
to being a very innocent, trustworthy guy and just
Mate,
tells
when
the
you
truth all the
lie,
time.
your voice just
You go
like,
high pitched
Yeah.
and start
Yeah.
giggling.
It's
It's
like
like,
I've
so
been working on
obvious.
it. I've been working on it. So it's like I've been working on my whole speech therapy thing, be able to say real words again, and trying to lie properly, but I just can't do it.
we'll get there. Don't worry, we'll get there. All
You've
right.
just got you like to win at those games, you just got to be a real dickhead inside. Like
Yeah, you got to be able to channel it.
yeah.
So just being able to win one with Aero was a blessing. I don't know how we done it.
I don't know how. Wait, you and Aero won. One of what is
Yeah.
imposters?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Even Aero was
No,
impressed.
do you know what it was? It was Delta being third imposter the whole time, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
It's always one.
There's always
Yeah,
one.
because
I've said
I just stayed with Delta the whole time, and I just wandered off now and then killed somebody, just came back to Delta and just walked off of them.
Good. Need more Iron Fist memes from watching them play now.
Oh, that video is class. That's gold. The amount of
I
times I've
just see
rewatched that is
how
perfect.
how calm you are when you're like, oh, no one's gonna find you. Oh shit! It's just how there's no tone change. It's just I'm gonna.
But
die
even
now.
the longer clip of that, of the accusation as well, like just watched Iron Fist kill someone. I'm like, so here's what I saw. I just saw him kill him and I just reported. It was great. The whole thing was great. I am
Your
not
other
gonna.
imposter weren't helping.
We will stay in touch on Discord. Maybe we'll get something going tonight. But I do need to, like, rather than
Eat.
doing a long break,
Eat.
yeah, it's either the long break, like a big BRB, which I'd rather not do. I'd rather send you all these people over to somebody who's actually doing something productive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll stay in touch and we'll get something going later on, whether it's Among Us or something. If you're about,
Yeah,
if
sure.
you're down, if it's not past your bedtime, Timo, then you're
It'll be
welcome
past
to.
my yeah.
That's
I
unfortunate.
think Neve will.
Hayes, you're never invited. I'm
Neve will
sorry.
start getting annoyed.
When you get,
No, it's not. I mean, I'm the same as well. I can't.
when's Hayes' Among Us debut?
I haven't even
been
got the game. I don't know.
I've really been trying. Like,
Okay.
It'll have
I've
to
been
be
trying
like
to get
I don't know, like a
Sub
day,
goal?
or we just
Sub goal
dedicate
confirmed.
it. Oh shit! Actually, that's a
You know-
fucking idea and a half.
Sell out, full
Hayes
sell out.
hit his Timo Redbeard cosplay sub
Yeah.
goal. By
So
the
get
way.
the next one up. 100%. I'm down.
Yeah. So he's getting the beard and the hat.
But
He's
then,
gonna look
like, by the time
fabulous.
I hit that, like, fucking Among Us will be phased out. Be the most dead game ever, and I'll be like, oh great, fuck's sake.
Walker, your sub goal, where are we up to? What the next cosplay?
Too far up. I've already got the background sorted. I'm going to use the NVIDIA background remover thing
Okay.
to. I've already got the person set up, ready.
Does everyone know what it is?
Redvox.
Okay.
Redvox don't know,
She doesn't know?
but
Okay.
but I know.
Wait, what?
Red Vox Gaming? He's going to cosplay as
Yeah.
her. For some reason. Where did that come
Why?
from?
Why? Yeah.
I mentioned it a long time ago to Red, and
It's the blue hair, isn't it?
it
That's what
came
is.
back up. Matt told me to dress
Oh my
as a
God.
cookie, and I said I'd rather do the Redvox one. And
Maybe you should tell
we've
her
been sold
beforehand, just
since
to let her
then.
know. Just,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I can
no,
imagine
like
that
a
would
day
come off
behind.
as super
Okay.
weird. Like,
that is a bit weird.
yeah.
No.
What about Matt?
We'll
You
see,
got
we'll
any
see,
more
we'll see.
milk carton? What you got? Concentrated juice?
I'm gonna be a cookie.
You're going to be a cookie? All right, man.
Man, I'll dress up as anything.
He's fallen into the Antorius.
I'll be a
trap
Smurf.
You just
Oh,
go.
that could be a good
You're just
one.
going on Amazon, typing in Halloween costume, and then picking one out, and then sub goal.
Yeah.
That's what Antorius is
Boom.
doing.
Alright, so currently I have a set website
Uh.
where it just shows all of these things. It's like, all right, so what could I be this time? And currently on the top of the list is a Smurf,
Okay.
the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man,
Right.
the cookie, and also a like a toga, I don't know, like a Greek guy, and I want
Okay.
like some like grapes and stuff
Monka.
and all that lot.
Monka.
Don't you guys think Matt would make an amazing Michelin man?
Yeah. I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Michelin Man, that could work. That could go on the list. That's probably easier to do than the Stay Puft Marshmallow, I have to admit.
Both are good.
It's,
Timo, how many subs to shave the beard?
100,000.
Hayes, don't you owe us an
Yeah.
eyebrow?
No, that's 1,000
Okay.
before the end of the year. So
All right. We'll get everyone
know.
fully waxed and shaved and cosplayed up soon enough. But yeah.
Oh god.
All right.
I'm just going to have so much fun with Hayes being dressed as me.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna.
I'm
be
gonna have
so
even more
fun.
fun.
Smoke machine for a vape.
You hear this? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Snap
He's
back.
gonna get like a. He's gonna
ting
print
goes
out like a. The ting goes.
Love it, dude.
Shout out Go XLR.
Yeah, love it.
All right.
Oh god.
I'm wrapping it up here then.
Yeah.
I'll leave you guys to it. Thanks for your time again.
Take it
that.
easy, lads.
We'll be in
Good.
touch. Stay safe. And I'm going to throw it over to the Destroyer Project. Someone said host him. So I'm hosting him. If you're not already following him,
That-
Give him a follow.
Big up, Swook.
He's a good lad.
Nice.
Right, let's take it easy.
everyone.
Peace. Thanks again.
Catches.
Yeah.
There's boys.
Thank you very much,
Bye.
everybody.
See you.
What shall I do here? It's just you and me. Okay, never mind. He's gone. Do that. If I do,
I'm still here,
oh, you're still here. Oh, that's pretty creepy. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
lurking.
Let me do this. All right. I'll see you over there. Bye. Stay in touch. Twitter, Discord, all that good stuff. Back tomorrow with regular Tarkov stuff.